Okay. What did we actually come here to chat about? Go for it.
Did you read my piece
No, I haven't
at
had
all?
time to do anything. Did you just send? Was
Okay,
this today that you sent this to me, or was it yesterday?
it was yesterday.
No, because I streamed late last night because I had to argue with with XQC over
Oh,
unhinged.
about what?
You don't trust me. You don't want to know. Okay, I'm seeing it.
What? What? No, for real. What? What are you talking about?
Over how big of a deal it is if Doc was talking to a 17-year-old or not, basically.
Oh, oh,
Doc just
and and
no.
and what is your opinion?
Don't. You know what? We don't have to relitigate all that. What do you want to tell us about this? Do I need to? Do you want me to read it on stream? Do you want to go over it
Um,
right now? What do you want to
no,
talk
no,
about?
no, 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 no. You don't have to. I mean, the new piece of information which I have reported,
Uh huh.
are that I have a direct source with knowledge of the whispers themselves,
Mm-hmm.
who was um, instrumental into the very small circle with firsthand knowledge of the case and impactful within it. And that Twitch employee, ex Twitch employee, has told me that Doc was aware that the minor was a minor, was made aware that he was a minor during the conversations. And the conversations continued to be and even got more explicit sexually after that was acknowledged.
Do you know? Do you know the age of the person?
Um, was not used in the reporting.
Are they 17
It,
or are
it
they younger than 17?
I do not have comment.
They were 9 years old.
Do you now? Okay, no. Without hearing your conversation, do you think that obviously, if there was a huge discrepancy between, let's say, a minor that was 17 and a minor that was 11 or 12
Mm-hmm.
or like 13 or something, that feels to me like something that is more significant to point out. And I guess it's not necessarily the exact ages, but I felt if the additional information wasn't entirely necessary other than it is explicitly underage.
Okay.
Do you feel differently?
I don't actually know what the fuck you just said. It sounds like you're saying that if they were 17, 16, that's a possibility, but if they were 9 or 10, that probably would have come out because it would be so much
It
more
would be
significant.
it would yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
What was your take with XQC? You could just give me the short version.
It's such a. Do you really want to? Do you really want to have this conversation?
Maybe not. Okay, a little bit. Yeah.
My take on all this fucking internet sexual bullshit or whatever is for me to care that much. When you're talking about like a 17-year-old or whatever, I need to see the logs. Otherwise, I just don't give a fuck that much. You shouldn't be
Okay.
doing it. The doc, if he's fucking sexing or trying to meet up with some chick, I think it's bad. You shouldn't be doing it. But if it's like if they're like the 17-year-old's driving all the interactions, they're trying to like fuck him. He's like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. We'll do it. I just don't care that much. You shouldn't be doing it, but I just can't be fucked.
Do you think that with the current knowledge and reporting that is out there, that the punishment was unwarranted?
It's without seeing the DMs. I don't. It's hard to say.
So if you are hypothetically at the age of 17 in this case,
Like
do
I
you
said, I would. There are actions that the doc could have taken that I think would have warranted way more. So, like for instance, these are the examples I gave. So, like, let's say in one world, let's say like 100 girls are messaging the doc, and he's like trying to fuck all of them or whatever. And one of them is like 17, and she's like, "Oh, we should meet up." I'm saying, he's like, "Oh yeah, like let's do a little." Then it's like, okay, like cutting his contract, obviously, and probably banning him are probably things that, yeah, you think you should probably do this. But like, let's say the doc was like intentionally going around channels, like finding underage people and then DMing them. And it's like, oh, I noticed that you're like, like, oh, you're pretty young. Like, what do your parents think about this? And he's like hunting like young people, like trying to flip them into TwitchCon fuck partners. That's something that I would expect the actions by Twitch, I would expect to be way more severe than that. Like I would expect there to be some publicizing of what happened. Otherwise, he could just go to YouTube or another platform and actually like hunt people on those platforms. That would be like really bad, I think. Like imagine if he ends up like predatoring some fucking girl on YouTube who's 15 and fucks her, and then it leaks from Twitch that he was aggressively seeking minors on Twitch. Then I'd be like, oh shit, well, why didn't they fucking say something? Now you basically just had some person getting raped. Like that's what I would say is.
Okay, well, in my reporting, and maybe I will want you to read it. A big part there's one more big piece of reporting which addresses what you just said, and there's a lot of the pieces to contextualize why Twitch was unable to say anything and why they do not say anything, and why something like the logs are never going to come out, nor should you want to see them.
Is there an answer that's good, or is it just like to protect the victim thing?
Well, they're the two main answers, and all that it needs to be focused on is that, quote unquote, it not only endangers the victim, which needs to be the priority, Destiny. It's not for.
Wait, how does it endanger the victim?
Any potential for the victim to be identified.
How could it possibly lead to the victim being identified? Like, did they include their address in like every single message to the doc? They're like, hey, what's up, doc? It's me, Samantha from 4227 Ames Street in Des Moines. Like,
I understand, but there have been people scouring the internet for 4 years for every potential person, and like there have been many women that have been harassed in this entire situation by people on the internet who thought that they were involved in the situation. Many women have had their lives fucked up from not just the situation, but even other interactions unrelated to this specific case with Doc. And there is something I was going to show you, later.
Okay, but now there's only one circumstance where I could see this making sense. When you say, if you show the logs, it could potentially be bad because it might implicate somebody. The only way that this argument makes sense is if the doc had a large number of victims. Because in my mind, the first thing I think of is like, okay, well, if you show the logs, Dr. Disrespect, he knows who he was talking to. They said they were a minor. Like, he's going to know if he gets unpartnered no matter what, obviously. But if somebody's saying, well, we can't let him know who it was, that means that he was like sexting with multiple minors and he doesn't know which one was the one that returned him into Twitch. That's the only way that statement can make sense to me. Is that the implication I'm supposed to take from this?
No, all I'm talking about is this specific case involving a singular minor. And then Doc has unrelated, as far as I am aware.
Well, but then because Doc knows who the person was, right?
Yes, but the public doesn't. Nobody else does.
Yeah, but how is the public seeing a personal DM going to like clue them in? Like, do we have?
It's not. It is illegal to publicly show underage minors and their conversations.
There's no shot that's illegal. How? What?
Companies cannot divulge private information, especially in that case, to the public. They. And not only that,
Slasher, I don't think what you're saying is true about not being able to divulge it. But also the thing that doesn't make the most sense here is you're saying that
it is true. So it doesn't really.
What are you saying is true?
Wait, real quick, hold on. If two people are having text with each other, so like for instance, for that one girl that convinced that boy to kill himself, didn't we see all of their texts like published in the media? You're saying that was illegal, or?
I don't know what. I would have to look at how the text became public. Was it through one of the two parties that made the text public, or was it were the text subpoenaed in the case, and that is why they became public? Those two things are very important here, but this is also a company overseeing two people's private messaging between each other.
So when you say illegal, do you mean civilly or criminally?
No, illegal always means criminally. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is a company overseeing? Or how does that matter?
Tech companies can't show personal interactions and information publicly to begin with.
Well, if they can't show it, probably as like part of their TOS or something, right? Or part of like the agreement that they've made with you. But I mean, like the FBI and people can subpoena companies, and people have posted emails that have been leaked before. Like, it happens.
Yes, but that's still not from the company. You've never seen a tech company publish correspondence between two different people.
Sure, but the tech company doesn't have to. It could be an outlet, right? The company wouldn't, because why the fuck would the company ever publish anything about it? But like a journalist could.
But how could a media company get? Media company cannot.
How does a media company get information from a source? You're the journalist. You tell me. What do you mean? Of course, this happens all the time.
Media, from as far as I know, I do not know any instances of media getting conversations between two people and printing a private conversation between any user, let alone conversation that involves a minor, which there is an extra layer of the legalness. Absolutely to that. But I don't think in general, in normal, that doesn't happen.
I mean, like, don't we literally have mainstream media people like publishing dick pics and personal information and private? Yes, like, look at the whole New York Post story. Or sorry, go ahead.
Well, one person is publishing the information. Whoever either got the dick pic or sent it, or whoever is able to access the phone, or you have things like, hacking where people hack into other people's phones and then get,
Okay, so right now, so if I go and I screenshot my conversations with Nathan and I put that conversation on screen because my son is a minor, have I've just committed a crime?
No, because they're not sexually explicit in nature.
You don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Jesus Christ.
You can, okay, so he.
Does that make it different? Okay, I'm gonna go look for laws. I'm searching this up. Okay, let me get the worst search history ever for the FBI to look at my fucking computer.
As a report in the piece, when this happens, Doc was reported to NCMEC, which is NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Anytime that a situation happens where there is a trust and safety report within a tech company that involves a minor and it is confirmed to involve a minor, that is sent to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they work with law enforcement agencies all around the country to directly get themselves into
Are you
the
sure?
right.
Like, because like I know, for instance, there's differences when you talk about like pictures and explicit like messages. Like I think that if the age of consent is like 16 in a state, like two 16-year-olds can like have sexually explicit messages with each other. But if they were to send pictures, that would become like a federal crime. But the messaging is okay in terms of the law there. So I don't know why publishing the messaging would be like illegal or against the rules. Also, it would depend on what also is meant by like sexually explicit material. Like, for instance, let's say that there's a 17-year-old and she's got logs with the doctors and she's like, oh, we should meet at TwitchCon and go fuck. Does that count as like a sexually explicit message from the minor?
That is part, like the two differences are CSCA and CSAM. CSAM is the material. CSCA, which is this case, is still assault. But both are, whenever either happens, all of those cases are sent to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. CSAM, having the media, whether it's pictures or videos or whatever, that is more extreme. Those cases are taken even more seriously with larger potential for a criminal action. CSCA, which is this case, the criminality portion is ambiguous. That part is true. Like, there's been no evidence of something criminal being applied in this case. However, as I wrote in the piece, do not have even knowledge of what the agreement exactly was and who or what is involved inside of the agreement. So I am unaware, like, if it goes to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they are directly involved with law enforcement around the country to then investigate. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then afterwards of what has potentially happened, there is no information. I do not have information after that. Huh. However, any case, even with the CSCA, not just CSAM, has to be reported to NCMEC automatically. This goes for all tech companies.
Oh, I want to fight, but I don't have enough information to deny what you're saying. So maybe
and
it might
look,
be
you wouldn't even in general. Mm-hmm. It should be that don't want to see conversations for minors to try to like have to prove to you or anyone on the internet about how contextually this conversation is okay or not as bad or whatever. It shouldn't be completely necessary. I actually think from doing the report, like I put in the report too, for example, that they were getting, because everything was happening early June in terms of the amount of sexual misconduct reports that were coming in. It was that Destiny 2 streamer, and then that snowballed into a ton of people. And then Twitch made a tweet rather, asking for people to send in tips and that they would work with law enforcement. It shouldn't be a surprise that 4 days late, like no one was able to put this together, which was so frustrating, at least a lot of people, that Doc got banned 4 days after that tweet was made, in the middle of where over 70 people had sexual misconduct allegations put towards them, that those two things should be related. But I mean,
sure, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that like if like let's say that the DMs were like some hardcore predator shit. Like let's say that it comes out that he had like let's say for instance tomorrow's story comes out that the doc actually fucked 6 different 15-year-olds at the last UCon or YouTubeCon or Minecon or whatever the fuck, I don't know, some convention for YouTubers, right? And then let's say that as a part of that court case, or let's say that as a part of somebody leaking to the media, you find out that the reason why the doc got departnered from Twitch was because he had messaged over 30 different minors on the platform, and that some of the logs being posted were things like the doc going like, hey little girl, like what do you guys do at recess? Why don't you take pictures of your whatever, blah blah blah, like, oh, you're only 15. Like if you would see shit like that, the first thing I would think is like, okay, well damn, if Twitch would have been more honest about why they banned him, then the 5 or so girls that all got like statutorily raped probably would have been safer, because nobody would have allowed Doc to have that platform. That's what I would think, right? But
yes, but from what I understand, this is just this individual case. Like this report about him getting banned was for this individual case. There may be more additional reports, but I am not aware of additional reports. Okay, just want to get that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's one person, so that helps a little bit. But again, I think the aggressiveness of his messages, I think also a little bit, but
it's not that like Twitch, as I was explaining, they created an incident response team early on named Gold Sparrow internally. That was their code name to try to handle all the sexual misconduct allegations. They said that we want to provide a process mounting investigations quicker and with more resources while providing as much support for the victims as possible. And they also created an OSIT, which was to investigate team for reports offsite misconduct by creators. So they did create both of these things internally. The fact that we didn't get information and no one had known anything until Cody just said, fuck it, we'll do it live, and made an ambiguous tweet last week. The fact that we didn't know anything means Twitch did a good job. You can criticize Twitch and say, well, if they told people, one, it would be an understanding of what was happening, and two, they could potentially save other potential victims from things happening. And I do understand that sentiment, but their obligation is to the specific alleged victim in this case. Like they can only handle what they have control of and what they are investigating and what they are working towards. So their responsibility is to protect the victims that were reported through Twitch and the victims that are involved in Twitch. Like it's not just Doc. There have been, as we, all those other cases, there were many other people permanently banned. We have never heard from Twitch on any of those other situations. The only reason that we know from many of them, as you did like, a 2-week-long stream going over allegations, is that most of the time women were to write tweet longers and Twitter posts or talk to the media telling about like XYZ in different allegations. Those are the only reasons we know. But in all the other cases, and including those specifically, Twitch has never said anything. Twitch has never commented on Method Josh, ever. They've never spoken about Method Josh. That has never been a thing that you will ever hear about. But and understand what happened there because the victim in that case spoke out, and you have context to what is happening. But Twitch's responsibility ultimately will always be on the victim and to try to do what they can. And specifically in this case, because it involved a minor, having it always be as anonymous as possible and their safety was their primary importance.
Sure, you can say all of this, but like Twitch could have literally just said like, we've terminated the contract with Dr. Disrespect because we found out that he was engaged in like illicit sexual contact with underage people. Like, I don't know how that statement endangers the victim. Like, Doc already knows that personally. He knows 100% why his contract was terminated. So I don't know how that.
Like if they give the specifics here, then they're obligated to give specifics on many other very delicate, strong situations.
Wait, why? No, they're not.
Is it completely necessary that Twitch or another tech company is responsible for giving specifics, especially in a case like this?
Is it completely necessary? I mean, like, probably not necessary. It's just like nice for like the public safety, I guess. But it just depends on, I guess, the moral culpability of a company for cutting somebody off, because it would be very easy and I think very quick to turn the lens around and say that Twitch isn't acting out of the best interest for the minor, and Twitch isn't acting out of the best interest for Dr. Disrespect. Twitch is actually just looking out for itself. The idea of national headlines going major partnered contract worker from Twitch, Dr. Disrespect, was DMing other minors on the platform through Twitch's Whispers product to elicit a sexual encounter with her at the next Twitch convention, right? It's pretty easy to look at that and go like, oh, no wonder Twitch doesn't want to talk about this publicly. It makes them look bad because it's literally a contracted streamer using their platform to fuck a minor at their event. Yeah, obviously, right? So I don't know. This whole framing of like, oh no, Twitch is doing it just to protect the minor. I think that's bullshit.
Don't you think you're being a little bit too cynical here?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Don't do the Hassan strategy of just like using an adjective. What part of that analysis do you think was unfair? When you ask me, am I being cynical by saying that a subsidiary of one of the largest companies in the world, Amazon, by market capitalization, is looking out for the valuation of that company? Am I being cynical? No, I think I'm being pretty pragmatic.
Yes. That part I don't disagree with. It's the aspect of, I don't think it is Twitch's responsibility. I don't even think because it involves a minor in this case, they can legally even say what that hypothetical statement giving out.
You literally can't make a statement whatsoever. I'm thinking of all, if this is what you're saying, I'm thinking of like all the ways that I could like abuse this. Like, I'm thinking of like, okay, I'm going to go on Twitch and I want to fucking murder somebody. I'm always going to bring a 17-year-old with me, and I'm always going to be like trying to buy fucking assassins. But like every time I do an assassination thing, I'm going to tell this everyone, hey, just like say like a sexual message to this guy, so that if any of this like gets discovered by Twitch, they can't publish any of it because look, there was a minor involved. Yeah, I was trying to hire hitmen to murder people, but look, there's a minor. Now you can't say or publish anything about it. Like, this sounds like the dumbest cheat code in the world. There's no way that this is how it works. It can't be that way.
It's not.
You don't see tech companies commenting on.
Wait. That's right.
It's in their terms of service.
Yeah, and they don't
do it or not, and they can get sued.
They also don't comment on it because it doesn't serve their interest. Why the fuck would they say anything? It's not that they're not saying. It would just be bad for them. Like, there was one company that spoke about a specific ban. I think it was Patreon when it came to Lauren Southern getting banned for that Mediterranean Sea shit. They decided to come out publicly and say something because a lot of people were getting randomly banned, and they got completely shit on for saying anything for it. And they tried to do the full transparency thing. I think that's why companies don't do transparency, because it literally doesn't do anything positive for them whatsoever. It's just a bunch of negative PR, negative press, like negative sentiment. Like, it's just horrible for them. So they're just like, fuck it, I won't say anything.
What positive things happen by Twitch going out and saying anything at all about this? It's literally all negative for them. It's much better for them to just like say nothing, ban the guy.
Has it not been even worse? Not only was Guy being able to rehabilitate his career after the initial ban, but he got bigger than ever. And his stream became bigger than ever.
Wait. You think that Doc got bigger after his Twitch ban?
I mean, he had a ton of limitations because he couldn't play with people. But I would argue,
hold on. I thought wasn't Dr. Disrespect not even on the verge of, wasn't he getting like A-list sponsors when he was on Twitch, like sponsored by Gillette, and like doing like major events? I think didn't PUBG or whatever, one of those major things, try to make him like the fucking fate. He was getting invited to all these fucking tournaments. I'm pretty sure a lot of that died off after the Twitch contract termination. That was my recollection.
He became the face of San Francisco 49ers. He was in the new 2K game. I mean, I felt like he did rather well. Maybe not bigger, but at least I would think on par. And through a lot of that time, the discussion absolutely turned against Twitch in terms of like public opinion, even more so that probably was just Twitch screwing him over. So I don't know if really staying quiet helped them. It felt like it hurt even more than what would ever have happened and people not believing them.
But you're saying that it's illegal, that even if they wanted to say something, that there's a law that prevents this from happening, some law.
I know that when it involves a minor, again, it is sent to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They work with law enforcement agencies to investigate. No, it's both. Yes. It is both. It is
anything that CCM or anything that's
apparently the 49ers thing was after Twitch.
Sent to
CSEA. No, it has to be CSEA, which is the non-media version of CSAM, and CSAM both get sent automatically.
Okay, so a reporting agency, which is the tech company in this case, when they send that type of stuff in, which they do, that basically goes to that clearinghouse as you're talking about there. But that does not mean that the tech company can't release redacted text logs of anything going in there. It's not the case. If the doc had like naked photos of a teenager, then definitely they can't release that. That's going to be fucking against the law, because then they're publishing content that's actually illegal. But as far as just pushing out the logs or saying what happened, that would typically, the reason that they wouldn't do that would just because they'd be afraid of getting sued by DOC, because their terms of service probably says that any information that you gives us stays with us, things along those lines. But definitely not like if we publish your shit, we're going to jail. We're doing something criminal. Like right now, Gmail wanted to. They could go and they could publish your fucking emails.
But they never
look horrendous for them, but they could do it.
You will never see a tech company publish private correspondence between two users. Forget being the extra fucked upness of there being a minor involved.
Well, hold on. No, wait. To be clear, that's not true. There was a major tech company, one of the largest social media companies in the world, published emails between employees when Twitter did it with the Twitter files, no?
Did he... You can do things with subpoenas and FOIA requests.
That wasn't subpoenas. Those are just journalists covering their shit. They're just journalists like publishing
Elon Musk giving them access to the fucking shit.
Or was it Elon just giving them everything?
Yep.
Yeah. Now you could argue that those were like on emails on business accounts. They might have been.
Why don't you ask Elon to buy Twitch? Obviously, he has the money, and then he could just send out everyone's information. That's pretty much how you're gonna.
I don't know.
Seems like an exception here.
What did you want to have happen in this situation? When we started there, what do you think?
I really think after seeing this back now for 4 years that Twitch never revealing anything and all of this only happening because of Cody's tweet, they did a good job. I really feel like the people that were working on this case, that were interacting with the victim, that handled the punishment and that in the aftermath, they never spoke to me on the record. These people I have been talking to or around primary sources for years, never agreed to speak on the record. It has been consistent that the only thing that I have been told many dozens of times over and over, their priority is to protect the victim. I know it sounds probably cheesy or bullshit or whatever, but that is really what I was told so many times about why they would not talk to me.
No.
Why was Dr. Disrespect paid out from his contract then?
That's a good question. It is. I'm not saying that that's not a bad question. I do not have details on the case specifically.
Do you think that they paid him out from his contract because it was part of an NDA that the doc would have agreed to? Like, well, fine, I won't say anything about this to anybody. I won't mention anything to anybody as long as you like settle with me like on this contract here, like pay me up through this, or at least like make me right on this.
I have been advised not to speculate.
Okay.
Like, actually, Rolling Stone had to hold like a whole meeting with me. I was like, all right, shit you should not say while you're on podcast. Okay. When people usually get sued, it's not because of the reporting, it's because of dumb shit you say on a stream. I've already done that now a few times. I'm trying.
That's another thing we should really talk about after we get before we finish this call, because that's an interesting part that we discussed 2 days ago. I wish you came on for that, but
actually, but I would just say I don't know. It is very possible that there is an NDA, and there is very possible there is some extra circumstances here. All I know is that there are other cases like Les Moonves was had allegations of sexual misconduct when he was running CBS, and he was ousted, but he still got his $30 million payout, even though it was ousted. I don't know if the circumstances are the same, but there could very well just be, you know.
Do you know if anything relating to this doc stuff, did any of it actually go to court?
Unaware.
Okay. Wouldn't civil suits have to be filed publicly somewhere, or I mean, it could have been done in arbitration as well outside of the court.
I have filed requests in every single major San Diego, Los Angeles, Southern California courthouse. So have other reporters, like from Washington Post back then, Bloomberg, you know, Cecilia, who did all her.
Well, wait. Well, hold on. Well, what you should do is
nothing's ever been found.
Hold on. Fuck those requests. What you should do is grab somebody that has a Twitch partner contract. In that Twitch partner contract, I guarantee you there's an arbitration clause. That arbitration has probably been relegated to some third party that you could contact for them and see if they have a comment on it, right? Like if it's guaranteed to be arbitrated by XYZ company or XYZ whatever, then like you shoot an email to those people, see if they release any details about that.
They do not have no details. The only people who would have details are still declining to comment.
Oh, well.
I don't know why.
The only people who have specific details on what the legal agreement entails and why it was done that way are still not speaking. Everyone else is a secondhand source. Cody, for example, was never a primary source. Okay, Cody, as a person, was always a secondhand person to gain knowledge from somebody else.
Are you saying he didn't have firsthand of this? Wasn't he head of partnerships at Twitch?
It doesn't matter.
So he didn't know then, for sure. He had no idea. No first.
So trust and safety is going to be separate. Trust and safety is going to be separate.
But you're saying that he didn't talk to this guy or see this stuff for himself.
No. Cody is a second-hand source.
That's a big statement to make. I think he might say that I know for goddamn sure I bet my life that this happened.
Well, we have okay for structure of Twitch one, trust and safety is completely separate. So it's possible they separate. And then number two,
it's separate if he saw it himself from someone in trust and safety. I'm not saying if his position does it. Did he know for sure this happened?
Dan, you can't see it unless you are working in trust and safety and or law enforcement and or investigations within Twitch.
Well, no, because what Dan is saying is that it's possible that if you have friends in trust and safety, depending on how many people in trust and safety saw it, it could have absolutely been like so many partnerships. I know for a fact that happens 100%. But if it's a special enough partner and the report comes through the correct channel, it might be just one guy. At least I used to know the work. It might have been just one dude that saw that report, and he took it straight to legal or straight to the individual that was responsible for negotiating contracts with Dr. Disrespect, which is why it didn't get seen by a whole bunch of people. That's possible. I'm saying there are avenues where it could have been seen by a lot more people, and there's avenues where it could have been seen by literally like 5 people. It's possible.
Yes, I can say it was a very limited amount of people who had access to the internal documentation in this case, and they do also log internally who is viewing it. Not even just making any changes, but Amazon does and Twitch tracks who not only has access, but who is at what time, like it's time stamped, and you can see what happens. So no, Cody specifically did not have access, and the amount of people who did is what made this thing drag on. It's what made it be private this entire time, because the only limited amount of people who are primary sources through this entire time had declined to comment. It only changed when Cody made a tweet, and then I and a few other people were sent a document. The document being his internal report within trust and safety. Someone, I do not know who, I was not able to verify who sent me the document, but I did authenticate the document with several other ex-trust and safety Twitch employees that it was real. That is only, once those two things happened, that was the only reason why primary sources now spoke up. 3 for Cecilia's report in Bloomberg to first confirm that things were correct and real, and that Cody, to corroborate Cody's tweet, and then my report to corroborate Cecilia's, and then give more information. Also, just want to say, Cody's tweet was just ambiguous. It didn't name anybody. It wasn't specific towards any person. My tweet also, to reply, wasn't specific towards any person.
Oh, I did. We did a show, and I said the reason that, what I heard in Rust was the reason that Doc got banned was he was texting with minors using the Twitch DM product. I said that 2 months before Cody. So it's weird. people in Rust had that information. Maybe I was playing with the Twitch Safety Council.
Well,
I don't even know.
I mean, like Cody tweeting it is obviously a bigger deal because Cody's a fucking.
No, I'm just saying that like it was out there. You know, people knew. Listen,
Well,
Sasha, I want to switch topics a
come
little
on,
quick.
bro.
I
Dan,
want to.
come on, bro. Come on. I mean,
I
the whole
wanna-
reason
I
this is
wanna
all
ask you a
happening is
question.
because I made a tweet 4 years ago saying I knew. Yeah, like I had known and be investigated. So all of the information that came out last week, things that I had known a day or two after when I made the impulsive, bad tweeting decision to begin with. I never lied in that tweet, as I mentioned.
This is
And
going
it
to be a
was-
good thing
I
for
was
you.
being
Wait,
honest,
wait.
But it was a bad decision to make. I should have never made that tweet. That tweet is
No,
incredibly stupid.
you did the wrong direction. Not only did you make that tweet, you should have come out and you should have said what you knew. And that
Ooh.
we were talking about this on their show
that doesn't make
2
any
days
sense.
ago.
It doesn't make
That
any
was your make or break moment. Is how I feel about it. Not knowing anything
Okay,
about journalism.
if I break the moment, then
Yeah.
I get sued, one, by Amazon, the most threatening legal tech company in the world, and then sued again by CAA, who has represented Dr. Disrespect for the last 3.5 years, the most litigious talent agency in the world. So yes,
No, I don't
she-
think that.
this
So
idea.
first off,
To-
you
no,
knew
no,
it
wait,
was true.
wait, stop talking for a second. To also do it on Twitter without having the backing of a publication. There's a reason my report only now was going through Rolling Stone, because they have legal representation for me if anything were to happen to my reporting. There's lawyers over there. I have indemnity for the story. You don't get that when you just tweet and I have nobody to represent me in that way. That was a huge portion of not being able to publish anything then, is because like Cecilia getting her report through Bloomberg is 1,000 times more impactful. That's why when her report came out and people were saying, oh, this is just rehashing what we read on Twitter. Yeah, no shit, doesn't fucking matter. Her reporting through Bloomberg had to go through a long list of lawyers and legal teams and fact checkers who had to look over and make sure everything is 100% on board. That is so much different than just making a tweet. And I need to get like media literacy. This part is very important. No, I could not just tweet. No, the mistake was even saying that I knew and I could not say. That was a fucking dumb decision. That was a dumb fucking tweet. That part is right. This extra layer you're saying is totally misguided and incorrect.
All right, so now I'm going to talk. So one, you could have done it. Okay, first off, there's pretty good journalist protections in this country where you can't force journalists to go and reveal their sources. So it doesn't matter. You said you knew firsthand, hand to God, that this guy who told you works for Twitch Safety said, this is why it happened. He told it to you. That's a source. He's saying, I'm not going on record. He doesn't need to go on record. You've now heard this. You can now go, this is what I have heard. I'm not publishing my source. That's the end of the day. What do you think? They're going to fucking sue a journalist and somehow magically get you to review your fucking, to reveal your sources? When's the last time that happened?
Unfortunately, a bunch. I'm fucking afraid doing this. I'm afraid
journalists revealing their sources. I want to know. And also, by the way, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to go through discovery, and that is the truth, by the way. So they're going to go out there and what? They're going to sue you for telling the truth?
Now, the discovery part would be a huge issue for him. He probably would not want to do that.
So
And
they
that
probably wouldn't have sued you then. And then
That
you could have
could be a
said
saving
something,
grace.
and then maybe he wouldn't have been out on YouTube for a few
Look,
years.
man,
Maybe you would have been a famous journalist doing crazy shit.
I don't have money bags like Destiny here, okay? I
It's
could
not
not
They
survive.
wouldn't have done anything. That's
doing it.
that.
You are so naive. Okay?
I don't
I'm not
understand why I'm
trying
naive.
to-
What am I missing? What am I missing? What part am I missing?
Cannot make allegations like that. Fucking people doing that on YouTube and shit, like, and just random people on Twitter. It's so irresponsible. No, you cannot just be
If
making
I'm a
allegations
journalist
on the
and
record
I-
like that towards someone.
Okay. If I'm a journalist and I'm meeting with the COO of some major company and they're like, listen, the CEO does fucking drugs every day. Look at this shit. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. Watch this video. He does drugs every day. And he fucking beat this person and raped this person. Anyways, I can't give you a copy of this, but I just wanted to show it to you. You know what? I'm running the fucking story. Absolutely. You know why? Because that's a make or break fucking moment for you
You had a
forever.
video, and guess what? They're
You
documented.
didn't keep it. You didn't
No
keep it. You saw it. You said you
existed.
knew.
No documents have existed until
So
5 days.
you didn't know then. You were just you had a hunch and they told you, hey, this is why the doc was banned, but you didn't trust the guy? Or
No,
did you...
I had so many secondhand sources and not enough no primary source willing to go on the record. Okay,
But you had primary sources, but they wouldn't go on the record.
to go and speak and confirm something on the record is so hard. I can't.
And you don't need it.
You need it. You fucking need it.
Really? So there's never been any major stories where they don't list their source? That's weird.
Even making my source anonymous has rubbed people the wrong way because they feel like they should go on the record. And I am a pretty strong opinion that people should go on the record. But in this case, yeah, there is extreme fear for retribution against their careers or personal lives. That's why all of the sourcing in the Verge report, in Cecilia's Bloomberg report, and my report have all been anonymous. And
if only there was like some sort of like people who had whistles and they wanted to blow them and had protection and not get fucked over like that. That would have been like the sickest shit. You should have ran with it. You would have been okay.
No, it needs. What I should have done is never said anything to begin with. I should have never tweeted. That was my fuck up. You should not be telling people that you know something that you can't say it. One, it just pisses everybody off. And two, journalistically, you shouldn't be doing that because if you actually have everything you need, then you should be working on printing the story and releasing the information, not just like fucking having a hard on.
Pros and cons here. Pros and cons, right? So if you did go out there and said that, here are the pros that have happened. Doc wouldn't have gone on to, for 5 more years, get more popular, maybe do more damage to other people. That's number one. Number two, that would have solidified your place as one of the most game-breaking, huge pieces of information broken directly by you, solidifying your spot as like a fucking massive journalist at that point right there, instead of like disappearing for 3 months. Thirdly, no one would have sued you because guess what? It was the fucking truth. And you knew it was the truth because you talked firsthand, apparently, to these people, but they just weren't going to go on the record. So you had people that you trusted saying, this is why I got banned, but you're not going to get me saying it, writing it down anywhere. Like, you knew, you could have done it. You could have gone out there and done it, but it was, I mean, you were scared, I guess, of getting sued, but I think that was not worth it to you. I think you should have gone harder. Okay, you should have tweeted it and said it.
I appreciate that. Would have been great. Okay, totally hear you. You can't just brush aside not getting sued for, especially considering the two representations of the two companies here. Two, with all due respect, Dan, I was doing fine pre-Dr. Disrespect. Topic of conversation. And continued not as much, been on mainstream TV quite a bit to represent this entire industry, and you could criticize me and what I say on there and what I've done, but I'm the only person that has ever fucking done that. When I disappeared, it's not like anyone took my spot to represent like the people. No, it's just fucking me, okay? So I didn't need this entire situation to hang over my head. The reason I disappeared was because I made a stupid tweet, I lost my reputation, everyone thought I lied, I pretty much lost my career. It was really depressing every single time I wanted to do a Valorant talk show and talk about fucking Counter-Strike or fighting games or other esports. That is what I really actually care about, and the entire fucking chat and every single reply and every DM is, you're a fucking liar, Jew insult, you fucking did this for clout, you only did this for clout, you're only big because of Doc, and what happened to Doc is like every single day. So yeah, that was really depressing, on top of some personal stuff, including me getting divorced after 10 years, which nobody really knows about. Those two things made me leave the internet. Yeah, fucking really goddamn annoying, all right? It was self-inflicted by my, again, stupid tweet of making it seem like I did not know what I was talking about. I mean, Destiny can probably, hopefully, vouch for my tweet being accurate. I wasn't just fucking bullshitting people. It was a bad tweet, but I was truthful and I was honest, and it was just really hasty. But that thing ended up ruining my rep. And I've been trying to fix it and address it while getting the truth out and navigating all the other stuff, the media portion, the legal portion, the people getting sourced on record. Like, it's all very important in terms of all of this coming together. Like, there's a lot of moving parts that all had to happen for it to really be accurately out there. But I mean, Steven, am I fucking lying?
About what in particular?
This entire thing and my initial tweet, and knowing but not being able to get it over the line.
I mean, what do you want me to say about that?
I mean, I spoke to you long.
I know, I remember very well, but I don't know what you want me to say about that. I would say you're probably not lying based on that. I don't know what you want me to say, but yeah.
I would like. I mean, part of your community still thinks I'm full of shit. Okay, they still think I fucking lied.
No, to be clear, no one here thinks you lied. Everyone here thinks you knew.
Well,
Jesse's fucking dead to rights. No.
Jesse's community
you're wrong. You can just stop talking.
No.
Everyone here knows that you know, and that they know that you've known since day one, but that you wouldn't get someone on record, so you didn't say anything. Like, no one's retarded. You went out and you said, hey, I know why, and he's done, not just on Twitch. You don't say that as a fucking JK when you're a journalist who's as respected as you are.
I didn't say that, by the way. Your best example was something that I did not say.
He's done, and not just on Twitch?
That's Shannon.
Okay, whatever.
That is Sacriel's wife, okay? Big distinction. I'm just saying, if he's the one example you want to use,
my fault.
The thing that I did not say.
For one thing to try and fucking nail me on this one thing. You knew for sure. I think everyone in DGG knows that you knew for sure.
Okay, even Jesse the chat doesn't even know that was Shannon's tweet. Okay, that was Shannon's tweet. All right, that he's done, and not just on Twitch. That was Shannon. That was not me.
Okay, again, everyone thinks that you knew for sure. They're upset because you wouldn't say why. You wouldn't go further after that. It's not because of that.
I mean, it's not like I didn't try to provide additional reporting and hints. Even like a week after, I was the first person to report, even though everyone went over it, that Facebook and YouTube were not going to be giving them deals. And all the speculation about how it was like a contract issue, about platforms, I tried to provide reporting early on about how you could eliminate certain entire categories of incidents.
Wait, can I ask a question? How did other companies find out? Was it transmitted by... It must have been transmitted by Twitch, right?
As I reported in my story yesterday, Ryan Wyatt, otherwise known as Swizz, confirmed to me on the record that he was approached by a Twitch employee and several investigating journalists of the situation that they had heard and told him. And his comment was that, I should probably read the full quote, but he understood it was still back then, it was rumors. So they weren't able to make... the unfortunate part of all of it was there were so many rumors circulating in the industry, one that a minor was involved, he says. But no one produced firsthand knowledge or evidence, and because of those rumors, there was no reason to entertain doing any deal with Dr. Disrespect. And no evidence produced means you can't act on a terms of service violation. The whole situation got even more confusing when Twitch settled and effectively said, quote unquote, no wrongdoing, which made everyone in the industry dismiss the rumors. But even still, there was never any reason to do a deal with him after the ban. So you can even see from the person that was running all of YouTube gaming how, yeah, again, Twitch's statement and Doc's statement, especially in 2022, made everything even more difficult to discern from a public standpoint of not having direct knowledge about what to do. But some people were tipped off, such as them, about the allegations, and they had made even internal decisions. So there was nothing ever officially said by YouTube that entire time. But that's why Dr. Disrespect was always like complaining about not getting the support from YouTube. They did have information. When Valkyrie and Tim the Tatman and Ludwig all got those big deals, Doc was never even offered an opportunity to negotiate one of those.
I mean, that just makes business sense if you can't go to another site either, right? Like, you can't go to Twitch. So, but okay. So you wouldn't change anything. You said the way you would change is you just wouldn't make a tweet. That's what you would tweet. But you knew.
I would continue working behind the scenes and speaking to people and continuing to try to get someone to go on the record. Yes. If I didn't make that tweet initially and I just made the follow-up reporting about the YouTube and Facebook and I just continued to get small pieces of information out there, everything would have went a lot better.
Can I ask you, what would have let you publish Dr. Disrespect got banned for texting with minors? What would you have needed that you didn't have?
Usually, you need at least 2 primary sources on the record and or documentation that this was happening. Okay, 2 days after this happened, I had a message from a trust and safety person that was working at Twitch at the time that could say it was due to a situation involving a minor, but they wouldn't provide me a screenshot of the document. And because they could not provide me a screenshot or the file itself, I'm unable to use that. It didn't matter that I had a direct line. I needed absolute 100% concrete. It didn't matter that I had a million secondhand sources, like an unlimited amount of secondhand sources. It didn't matter that I had all this other kind of unrelated information of Doc with other women and text messages and DMs from other women for other things. Like, all of that wasn't able to help me, but I had so much circumstantial things that I was always so close, but not over the line for me.
All right, so okay.
Something. By the way, it wasn't just me. Okay, do you know how many other journalists, such as Cecilia, were working on this thing? All of them were working on this one case for so long. Journalists at the Washington Post, journalists at Kotaku, journalists at Aftermath, Cecilia from Bloomberg, just other mainstream people from the Times had looked into it at one point.
Yes. I get it. You're
incapable of making this happen. It was
okay. These rules that you set for yourself, they were your own rules, though, right? Like, I need 2 sources on the record. No, yes, there is no law saying you need to have sources.
I'm not trying to be a random fucking dipshit like every other asshole on Twitter or that streams or makes YouTube videos.
Those are your personal rules that you're doing. It's not like you're working for the
standard journalist rules are 2 primary sources on record. Me doing the Rolling Stone report with 1 source is actually abnormal. However, I can guarantee that my source's authenticity has, I'm not, again, the protection of them being anonymous is important.
Careful. Wait, who's your source on this?
It is important, but they have authority in there to be my only source.
So your source, who is it?
Dan, what is wrong with you?
Well, you just said on the record. That's what on the record is.
Did you read the thing? Are you like, what are you talking about?
Okay, you're saying you need to have 2 sources. I'm trying to ask you a question. You're trying to say you have to have 2 sources on the record, but then you're saying now your source is anonymous. So what's the difference between that and what you had on day one?
Being on the record means that they are willing to be, their statements are willing to be used within the story, and that they are willing to be quoted. That is on the record means.
Okay.
In terms of like being named on the record, that is when you are putting your name on it. Being awarded, being anonymous is generally rare in cases, and it should only be given in certain situations.
To be clear, on the record literally means having your name attached to it. I mean, you can say all that, but that's just not true. Like, it's the actual definition.
Okay, sure.
I mean, you can Google it.
Wait, what are you guys disagreeing for about on the record?
I was saying the difference is allowing yourself to be quoted and for your information to be used. Because when a conversation is off the record, then people are just talking, and none of the information that is being told to you can be used inside of a.
Yeah. Wait. What is Dan disagreeing on, or what are you disagreeing on?
Let's say on the record means that it can be attributed to you, a person. I'm not on the record if I'm an anonymous source. That's not on the record. That's nothing. The definition.
Wait, I'm pretty sure. I think you can.
Why don't you Google it before you be pretty sure?
Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Wait. It's not a Googling the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition. It's having read a large amount. Hold on.
Legal definition.
Okay, let me know when you're done. Okay. There is no legal definition of on the. What do you mean legal? You think it's enshrined in law?
Okay.
What? Okay.
Then let's go with common parlance if you want to go that way. What do you think on the record means?
My guess is that when somebody says on the record, there's probably a distinction made between, do you want to quote me and attribute this to me, or do you want me to tell you information, you can publish it, but don't name me? For instance, when you read and I've read a lot of fucking news stories that are talking about things going on in the State Department or in the DOD or whatever else, right? You get a lot of things saying confirmed by 2 unnamed sources. Those aren't off the record comments where the journalists are just publishing like shit that people take them off the record. Those are probably things where the guy said, hey, listen, I'll tell you this or that or that. Like, yeah, you can publish this. Don't say it came from me though. That's probably some combination of like on off. It's on the record, but they're not attributing it to a particular person. That'd be my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I completely disagree. On the record, as far as I can tell, is something that's attributed to a specific person that another person can go and corroborate.
Okay,
Right?
so you think that wait, so just to be clear,
source
yeah,
says X.
I know, yeah. So then to be clear, you think that in every single media publication where people are citing anonymous sources, you think when they're talking to those people are all like, this is off the record, but they publish that anyway?
I think that if someone says this is off the record, that at that point it's like, hey, I don't even want you saying, forget you're even hearing and forget you're even saying this. So no, I don't think that.
So then,
No.
but so then they're on the record, but they're not naming the
That's it.
sources.
What's that?
So then that means that these are people who are on the record, but they want to be kept anonymous.
No, those are people that are saying, I don't want you writing about what I'm about to tell you at all.
Oh, okay. So you think that so all those media stories that say unnamed officials from these departments, that's all off the record convos, but the journalists are publishing that anyway.
I think there are people that are giving the information and saying, don't use my name.
Yeah, but so what would you call that?
Well, that's not off the record, I guess.
That
literally.
yes, correct. Okay.
No, I'm saying it's not off the record.
Well, okay, look, I will just say that, like, within a media context, the use of anonymous sources have increased heavily over time, and you can debate if that has been good or not. There are certain industries, like sports, let's say, where anonymous sources are the standard in terms of, you know, when players joining a certain team or being traded. And I think people, I mean, you could argue that sports is not a, it's not like a highly sensitive situation. Why are anonymous sources being allowed for the new Woj tweet or Shams tweet or fucking Adam Schefter? Why are they being allowed to use anonymous sources? And you could argue that that's not acceptable. But at the same time, you understand that, like, all the agents and all the team owners and certain players are never going to communicate that information to even get your trade rumors involved. And then when there are serious situations, whether it's national security, and I definitely say this specific case surely entices that it is a situation warranting being anonymous, especially considering where the sources are coming from, which are ex-trust and safety employees, which is a very secure part of any tech company. They deserve to be awarded anonymity in this case. I do feel so. But there is definitely something to argue about the increased uses of anonymous sources in general and how people should be, how journalists should be wanting to attribute names for certain reporting. I think it's fine to be upset about that and to talk about that, but that there is a distinction there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Wow.
This is called on background, and we can just move on. It's on background. You don't name the source directly. You just say what their background was, and you quote their stuff for the story.
Wow.
Yes, that's true. That's what on background means. But then if you want specific quotes to be used, then you need them on the record. They could still be anonymous. They could still be given anonymous. Great media literacy discussion, Stephen.
Thanks.
Hope this has helped. Not you, Dan. Come on.
I disagree with you completely. I think
I know
Ooh.
you do. You're being
on the-
you're being an internet person right now.
I'm not
okay?
being an internet person. On the record,
Okay, Dan,
definitively means attached to a person.
Dan, do you
Off
think
the record means I've given you something and I don't want you writing about
Dan,
it. But
do you
on
think
the
he-
record means
do
it's
you think
going
he's
to be
lying?
attached.
Dan, do you think he's lying about industry standards of what on the record means?
Or
Or do you think he just doesn't know?
I think he's he's said a
If
lot of
you
things
do-
that
if
are
you-
not correct in this conversation.
don't
so
know,
I
then-
don't think he knows.
Come on. If you disagreed with two primary sources being the standard journalistic practice, then
No, I said that's your personal guideline.
yeah,
Well,
I
if
know.
you-
I know. You saying that means the rest of this bullshit you're saying shouldn't even matter because that's almost one of the first basic things.
Under what? Under the I'm like a
I mean,
blogger journalist school.
no,
like this
I'm
is what I
telling
need.
you can go check the Pointer is a good journalistic media outlet. You can go look at any major schooling education for journalism. And by the way, I don't have no journalism degree. I never went to college. I have just tried to abide by as much of what I know from my work, actually working for reporting sites and people that I like and their work that they do.
I want to ask a different question, just because I feel like you guys are getting in the weeds of what's a good journalist or not. Are you aware of like TOS or contract clauses for partners and what they look like at Twitch on the time? And do you know if there are things like messaging minors or behavior of the ilk give Twitch a lot of leeway to terminate contracts without penalties? Because I imagine if the content of what was discussed in those DMs was really, really horrible, I am surprised that they would have had to pay so many penalties in terms of paying out the contract in full if the contracts they write give them leeway to terminate it. So were the contracts at the time not written in a way that would give Twitch the discretion to get rid of somebody for that kind of behavior?
Good question. Still unclear on the information of the legal agreement.
No,
contract.
I'm not asking you the degree,
so,
the content. I'm asking you the contracts that people had at the time. If this was
well, from what I understand,
behavior,
like most of the people that signed like the exclusive contracts, like Doc, have their own unique agreements.
Hold on. Okay, wait. Okay. There's two factors that people have to balance out when they think about contracts, okay? One is what is written in the contract, but two is what is in the best interest of both parties. Contracts can be flexible, and the way that people approach them can be flexible if one side is like clearly going to be fucked. A real life example of this would have been in the gaming industry when FaZe signed, there was some guy, and the original contract is like pretty restrictive, and eventually he basically broke his contract and left because he was kind of getting fucked, but FaZe was aggressively trying to renegotiate that contract with him because they knew that like the guy wasn't, it was it Tifu? Yeah, wasn't going to have a good time under that contract, and they aggressively tried to renegotiate with him because like, yeah, we know that this doesn't work. Like a company, from everything that I've seen in common practice, a company is not going to have a contract that's starting to not serve both parties and follow through with that contract until both of them go over a cliff. They're going to like have a desire to renegotiate. Now, I think generally in contracts involving talent, especially that are representative of certain agencies or whose agencies are representing them, usually you have clauses in there. I think it's called a moral clause, but basically it says that if you engage in like some kind of behavior that like reflects really poorly on the company, they have the right to approach you, and if you can't remedy it in time, or if you can't remedy it, they will terminate the contract. Now, it could be I'm pretty sure, I'd have to go back and check my old Twitch contract, but almost every contract I've signed with another company usually has some type of clause like this in here. However, the thing is, like I said before, it's probably in every party's involved interest to not make this a huge deal. So if there was a contract that Dr. Disrespect signed with Twitch and it has a morality clause, Twitch can probably say, listen, we're triggering this clause. There is no way you can remedy this situation. We got to terminate. And Dr. Disrespect might say, hold up. I don't think I actually did anything that bad. Bullshit. You're not. And Twitch comes back and says there's two options. They can either say, okay, well, we can go to arbitration and fight this, in which case all of this might be made public and it's going to look fucking horrible for everybody. Or we can say, listen, fuck you. You know you fucked this. We owe you 50 million lump sum, whatever we're going to pay out. We'll give you 15 million and we'll call it even. And the doc says, 15, 20. Okay, fuck it. 15 million is fine. We'll go our separate ways. And they both sign NDAs. And that's why nobody really sees information. That's why docs say, oh, I don't know why it's blah, blah, blah. And that's probably what happened. That'd be my guess.
That was pretty good.
It's a pretty good theory.
I mean, really, there are several potential reasons for many things based on what's happening in the contract, but I don't know. Could have been to protect Twitch. It could have been to protect both parties. The victim could be involved. Unclear. Really, I don't know. I don't have any information on what following surroundings of what happened there.
That's fair. But let's say hypothetically in a world where Destiny's theory is not correct, do you happen to know how much leeway Twitch allows itself in terms of the ability to get rid of streamers provided they violate? Like, are you familiar with the contracts that a lot of these big streamers get? Have you ever been able to see those? That's what I guess what I'm at. Not without naming anyone specifically. I'm just curious if
not lately. No.
Okay.
Well then,
Um,
Dan, you think I'm a liar?
I have a question for you. So this latest article,
Why am I so hostile?
I'm just asking a question.
What's with the hostility?
What's with not answering questions? So you have an on-the-record source for this Rolling Stone article that you did, because I'm reading through it. I don't see a name of anyone on here.
No, it's what I just explained to you.
Okay, so here's the. Do you like the Associated Press? Here's their definition.
Did you read Bloomberg's piece? Did you read Bloomberg's?
On the record, the information can be used with no caveats quoting the source. Did you see
any named sources in Bloomberg's piece?
You are again interrupting me without answering me.
I know,
I'm going by the
but-
Associated Press's standards here. There's 3 things. One that Justical brought up: on the record, off the record, and background. On the record, the source and everything they say can and will be named. Off the record, information can't be used, but maybe it can be helpful for you to do your background checks and find more information. And then background, which is they can use some of the information, but like they're an anonymous source or something like that. Those are the options that there are. But you're saying you have an on-the-record source here, but there's no source named. That's why I don't understand what's different now from back then.
There is a middle ground between. There's also getting quoted and being given.
Oh, so the Associated Press is wrong.
Is being granted being anonymous.
Okay, I'm gonna write the
line.
AP and
That line has certainly, but we just said this. That line of giving sources on the being anonymous and being able to given that anonymity while being quoted is a line that has been moved back and forth across several media organizations.
Well, you made it seem like it was pretty fucking crystal clear and I was a retard, but I'm reading to you now from the AP that says on the record means using your name and being quoted. And when it's not that, it's background. So am I retarded, or is this a little bit more nuanced?
Background is usually for just the background information not to be quoted. There is a middle ground, yes, between on the record and having your name there, and then being on the record and also being given anonymity. Okay. That usually is not granted. Okay, usually it needs to be in specific circumstances of why that can be granted. However, that has become more lenient over time, and you can argue whether that is good or bad. Okay, that's definitely a discussion to be had in the media world, is people being able to allowed to be anonymous and good or bad. In this specific case, I believe it is warranted. That is also why in Bloomberg's article, all sources to Cecilia's reporting were anonymous. The Verge also reported the day before Bloomberg's article came out to confirm Cody's tweet, those sources were also anonymous. In all 3 stories so far this week, from The Verge to Bloomberg to mine, anonymous sources were quoted. Okay, and
I don't understand what's different now from years ago when you had a source.
Destiny just brought up to you how he reads stuff I'm telling you, if you pay attention to like just the general shit you're reading, you will see more anonymous sources than ever before. You can actually say that is kind of messed up in certain.
Well, no, wait. I think the specific question is who's been willing to, who moved that you're able to now have a source.
The primary source. The reason why all these publications are coming out now is because only the primary source.
And the primary source here is Ryan Wyatt, or
no. That was the YouTube thing.
Okay, so your primary source is the background person that has confirmed they're seeing certain like firsthand.
Well, they're the ones that gave quotes on this too. That they had direct knowledge of this case and that saw the whispers directly and that could authenticate the document.
And you're talking about, and that quoted person here is the ex-Twitch employee.
Yes, ex-Twitch Trust and Safety.
Okay.
That ex-Twitch Trust and Safety are also the sources for the Bloomberg piece.
And we don't know who this person is? It's not named publicly? I'm just confirming. So
Man, what is wrong with?
I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with
is Dan always like this? I can't tell if you're just trying to like.
I'm not trying to fuck with you. I think
He is trying to fuck with you. Wait, Slasher, can you answer yes or no to this? I'm just curious of this.
No, but why is Dan doing this?
Slasher, give me yes or no. Slasher, yes or no? Are you allowed to answer that or no?
Why are we doing this?
I hate you. Fuck you. Never mind. I deleted it. Don't worry about it.
Dan, come on.
Dan is a shit stirrer. Let him shit stir. That's what he does.
I'm not even shit stirring. You don't understand.
It's
Rod.
kind of frustrating though.
If you listen to the show that we had, it's because
I know, but all I want to do was have a I mean, of course I'm down with trolling all the time, but why are you trying to troll here now with this? What do you? Why?
Let me show how this conversation could have gone.
Why?
It's like it's not trolling you. I just genuinely wanted to be in your head of what changed, what's different. What you could have done differently.
I am fully aware and understanding of the whole thing. I feel like I have explained it pretty clearly to you. You're the one that keeps saying fucking dumb shit, and then I get frustrated and annoyed, and now I'm thinking you're trying to fuck with me.
I'm not trying to fuck with you.
You're either not listening to me, or
I'm
Or
not trying to fuck with you. And when you say I'm saying dumb shit, I'm saying stuff from the AP, and you're being like, yeah, well, things are changed, and that's not really accurate anymore, and everything else. So
I feel like I have explained this certain situation clearly in terms of like the context and what happened and like why certain sources were giving certain, why has this happened, why all three stories are anonymous, why anonymous sources are used in certain situations.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think you should have done it years ago. I think it would have been better.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
There's a way.
Brother, I explained in the very beginning that no primary sources are willing to go on the record.
This doesn't sound like they are now either.
They didn't want their comments
to be.
Dan, they didn't want their comments published. That's what he's saying. They didn't want their comments published.
No one will have their comments published.
Well, wait, no, wait. That's not what you're saying because you did publish their comments. They're published in this Rolling Stones thing. You just don't have a name attached to it.
At the beginning.
At the time,
beginning.
4 years ago.
Okay. Sorry, gotcha.
Yeah. No one has agreed saying, yes, you can use this on background. Forget even being quoted. No background. Nothing.
Dan, do you think they should have used their comments without their consent?
Everything is off the record. The point is, everything was off the record or secondhand sources that are on the record but can't be used anyway, okay?
Okay.
But Dan's asking what changed from back then. So, like, do you think you should have used
that's the big thing.
Cody's ambiguous tweet, which we still have no idea what that was about. And then a document was sent to several people.
Yeah.
And then with those two things, that primary sources felt comfortable speaking after.
Did this document exist in 2020?
It's the internal report. So it was created.
Did you see this in 2020?
No one saw this. I've never seen an internal trust and safety report for any user in my life.
Can you find mine?
You're not.
Why?
It's probably like 13 pages long, bro.
Why not make the tweet Cody did yourself? Like years ago, I guess, or more recently.
Because I didn't feel like it was my right to do that.
But you kind of like. Okay, here's the thing.
I already made one mistake. Why am I going to do two?
Well, I mean, you could have. I mean, I don't want. This is like pushing it. I'm not going to say anything happened along those lines. But like, you could have argued that you're like protecting kids because you had people come to you who work for Twitch and safety or whatever, and they're like, listen, here's the deal, bro. You can't use any of this in any fucking story, but dox fucking kids or whatever it is. And now you're like, holy shit, are you fucking serious? Well, how am I going to find proof? Sorry, man, good luck. You can't use any of this. And you're like, okay, fuck. Like, I don't know. You could have put that out there.
It feels like you think it's just like some big fucking cover up, or there's some,
I think it's more than Dan's concerned that like the morality going in here is resulting in children not being protected, like in the future. So you're trying to protect the original victim, right? But what if 10 kids had gotten raped as a consequence of Dr. Disrespect still being a huge name?
Can we just pull it back a little bit? All right, I understand where you're going there, but it's their primary responsibility is to protect the individual case that they are involved in. I know the thinking that people were protecting like Doc in the situation. I just don't see it. It was not that way. I do not see it that way.
I'm unaware, but like Destin, you follow a lot of like journalists on Twitter. Is it normal for them to fly off the handle and just make claims with zero sources and like be well seen for it? If I feel like if Slasher was to make these comments without anybody on the record or anything like that, and saying he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to protect kids," wouldn't he be seen as less credible?
Would be. You can't do that.
Yeah, I feel like as a journalist, like they're one of the few people who shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know why you guys.
Again, I should have never made the first tweet. The first tweet was stupid. None of the suggested tweets are good. The initial one that I made should never have been made. That was my fuck up, which I totally admit. I have no problem people making fun of me for that shit. Pop my fucking pasta time and time again. I was truthful and I was earnest and hasty in there, but it was wrong to do.
Yeah, I think it's fine for an ex-employee to do it because I don't think they're held to that standard of sourcing things and things like that. But I think if a journalist is doing it, I think they would be not well seen.
I just want to put some full disclosure out there. One, I have known Cody for 15 years. We worked together at GameSpot and CBS Interactive as esports journalists way before he ever joined Twitch. However, I had no knowledge or any idea this was happening. He never spoke to me when he was working for Twitch. That his entire time there is as like a source in a journalistic matter. He was so good because he knew. Never talked to me. Never talked to Rod. And I had no idea this was happening. No one had any idea this was happening. I still don't know why Cody did this in this way, but he just fuck it, we'll do it live. And it was an ambiguous tweet. Nobody was named. I didn't say anything either. Dr. Disrespect just decided to reply to
one thing we can all agree on.
Ambiguity.
Let's become friends. Why don't we talk about how this is the worst response possible for the doc to ever do? Like it's like, hey, how about just shutting the fuck up and maybe you can keep your career, doc? What a moron.
I want to ask a question about that. What do you think was omitted from his responses that was the most telling? Not what was in it, but what was omitted.
Oh my god, the responses were so fucking bad, just so colossally bad. Okay. Let me narrow in on your question. So you're asking me what did he not say?
What did he not say that you thought was really pertinent? I think that's more important than what he actually said.
Okay, that's perfect. So in this type of shit, he was like so. It came off so lawyer speak. Like remember the first thing he said? It was like Twitch and I have come to an agreement, and there was no civil or criminal liabilities or anything else along those lines. Yeah.
Wait, do you think his Twitter replies were actually passed through a PR firm and like lawyers? Do you guys really think that?
No.
There's
Not
no
the latest one.
Not the last one.
Not any of them.
Here's the question is does he have representation right now? Because if the answer is yes, then almost certainly they were.
You don't think Doc can just tweet by himself without
when this level, when this amount of money is involved, and when his deals are going to be contingent upon or the money that his agency makes? Because keep in mind, if you have an agency, they're taking a cut from deals that you sign, and he's potentially nuking his career, and they've got a financial interest vested in that. I'm sure that they like are back and forth and chatting with each other about how things should be handled and what should be said. That'd be my guess.
I mean, I think Doc was probably freaking the fuck out because this is like such an obvious call out to him, and then he just, man, the way he answered this was like the worst. I don't know if there was a more bad way to answer this than what he did. Can you think of something, Abba?
I can't. That's why I honestly didn't believe that there was representation looking at that, because it just felt like no lawyer in his right mind would look at that statement and say, yeah, release that. That's going to be good for your brand. Irrespective of whatever information came after the fact. It looked horrible. So that's why when I was talking to people, I couldn't believe that a PR firm or a lawyer would look at that and be like, okay, that. Just in my head, it just looked crazy.
I just want to clear something up. There was no NDA that cleared for Cody's tweet or anything like that. If there is an NDA involved, it would be Twitch and Dr. Disrespect, and I am unclear again if that is the case. But for everybody else,
employees at Twitch don't have NDAs.
Yeah,
they're not like not for like again. Cody was secondhand. It's not like he had an NDA that was a primary thing and then it expired or something.
Wait. I mean, I would assume he had something saying, hey, listen, you're here, you have access to individual creator accounts, you have access to a lot of proprietary information, you're not allowed to disclose anything you learn here, especially about individual customers or users, for 4 years.
Yes, but it's not like something expired. It's not why. I don't really think there was a reason. I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I know that there was no NDA.
So then I have to ask you, there's plenty of people who've been fired between now and then. Why has nobody ever said anything? There's like no NDA involved.
They all hate kids.
No, because again, it's only a very, very small circle of people that is primary.
But he wasn't primary. He was secondary. That's what you said.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a lot more secondary people.
Well, maybe Cody has no fear. I'm going to be honest with you. Cody is he's the man. I love Cody. Cody is one of the most honorable, respectable people.
Hold on, stop. Wait, hold on, wait, stop glazing. Stop glazing. Hold on. If he's only leaking this after he's totally and completely out of the industry and he's got literally nothing to lose, but he can gain a ton of publicity and whatever by leaking this particular thing, then no, there's something noble about that. He's literally fucking, riding on the top of the 17-year-old's fucking sexting, right, to boost his own popularity.
I really cannot speak for him. I don't know.
Still don't know that they were 17, by the way.
That
Rod,
is
can I ask
another
you, did you
part,
get
yeah.
contacted by CAA? Did they contact you after the tweet?
No, I spoke to
No?
CAA to confirm that he was no longer a client, but he was no longer a client before this happened. Like this, and I learned that this was several months ago.
So you weren't contacted after your initial tweet, like to back off?
You mean 4 years ago?
Yeah, 2020.
No, I contacted DOS representation of CAA to confirm if this was true, and they never answered me.
Okay.
That's the only correspondence I had.
That's what they should have done this time. Just not said anything. Oh man. I want to go read the Doc's tweets again. They're just so bad.
Okay, my last question before I leave.
Yeah.
I just want to ask the last thing. If I'm operating on the perception that like these logs are as bad as they can be, but if they were like very sexually explicit and there were plans to meet up, I feel like that's a very solid case no for a criminal complaint. So is the fact that there was no criminal complaint meaning that there probably wasn't that overt of a sexual suggestion or case made?
I think there's several possibilities, but I do not want to speculate.
Well, I will speculate because I don't give a fuck. If the age of consent in the place where Doc was located was 16 or 17, I don't know if you get hit with like the corruption of a minor as long as they're not like sending you like federally illegal like child porn or something. You might still be able to like make all those arrangements to go meet that person. I don't know what the law is for that.
Oh, so wait, if you're talking to a minor in Florida where the age of consent's 18, but you're in like Utah where it's like 14, I don't know if that's
well, you'd have to, if you were going to go legal, you'd have to like fight.
What if TwitchCon is in a place where they wouldn't be legal? Like the place you guys were going to meet and fuck isn't legal.
There's like a whole area of law where like people fight over like where's the nexus of interest or like what is the appropriate venue to sue somebody. That's not like a settle. I'm not trying to don't mistake me and say like no it definitely would be here, but that's the thing that you would probably have to fight over. And it might be that in a certain case you're like well it's fighting for the venue here wouldn't make any sense. So that is a possibility maybe. Yeah.
Okay, got it. More speculation.
People are saying over state lines is federal. That is absolutely not true. Nothing is true about that statement. But
I believe it's based on the state.
Nope, it's not. It's always gonna. There's always fights over venue. Like for instance, like one party and two party consent. If you live in a two party consent state, that means both people have to consent to recording. If I live in a one party consent state, only one party. But if I record, like, am I violating the law? Well, I might be violating the other state's law, but not my state law. You might want to sue me over it, but like now you have to like fight for venue, like which law should apply. My understanding, obviously I'm not a litigator, but my understanding is that like people will fight a lot over like what is the appropriate venue to pursue something. Somebody might think that a certain state is more favorable for them. Other people might argue for another venue. Like that's a thing that people fight over a lot. I don't think it's ever like a clear-cut answer.
Slasher, was it your favorite part of his tweets where he went in there back and forth and edited it in and out minor? That was my favorite part, I think.
Was pretty good.
He is.
I'm not sure if he awares that once you edit something on Twitter, you get a giant fucking notification.
That's why I think he's a fucking moron, and he like wasn't using a PR firm to do this. Like, there's so many things he could have done differently. Like, okay, try to make it sound a little bit better. Be like, listen, guys, this person, I thought they were 18. Like, you know what it must be? If I had to guess, I think the doc probably assumes that the logs are about to leak, and he's trying to get out in front of it. So the logs 100%. Must be super fucking bad for this to all happen. Because otherwise, if the logs don't leak, you can just say whatever the fuck you want. Be like, listen, I did some sexting, but I don't know what all this shit's about. You guys are on some shit. Or just say fucking nothing. Who's going to give a shit? That's what I would do.
I thought that was the one thing he omitted that I thought would have been super key. A lot of people were saying like, oh, maybe he didn't know. And I'm like, if that was the case, I feel like that has to be in there. You lead with that. There's no way you don't put
That's
that.
The biggest omission.
So when he omitted that, that was very telling to me that obviously in the logs he knew the person's age.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, before I assume that, can you guys think of any theory why he wouldn't mention that in that long ass tweet that he didn't know her age? If he didn't know.
Well, he did know. That's actually in the reporting from the Rolling Stone article.
That's like reporting, but I'm saying in this statement. Like, why wouldn't he include that? That's what I'm asking.
I just want to say...
Wait, why wouldn't he include what?
Why wouldn't he include the fact that he didn't know that she was underage if he didn't know?
Because he did know, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's what too. But if you were to assume that he didn't know, let's say there was a reason why. I'm just asking if anyone can give one. That's what I'm asking.
No, there's no reason.
What?
I just want to say real quick that for him or you, Dan, to expect, or anyone online, truly, because I see people in the chat asking, to expect to see the logs here or literally any other case or situation that would ever were to involve like a Twitch whisper or a Twitter DM or a Facebook message or any type of like sexually explicit content with a minor, you will never see them.
Wait,
And for
you could. Some ex-employee
expectation. No, that would be insane.
Why would that be insane? I feel like that shit happens like, dude.
For
Trump's tax returns got
not
leaked.
only for, but those weren't what like an employee releasing private messages between two users is insane and just to begin with. But for the extra layer of there being sexually explicit messages or media sent to a minor, and to have to want for you to want to have to see it is not a realistic thing that you or anyone else on the internet should ever expect. I feel like
that's literally the Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator. Like, believe me, this shit happens. That's all the show did. It's like, I want to
they are
your beehole. You know, they say it.
No, because they, at that time when they were doing the show or whatever, they were like hiring or they were using a police department to make a fake identity online and then to gather communication based off the police doing an undercover investigation. Those are two completely different things. Whenever you see like
episodes didn't have the police. Remember, they let them go.
Yeah, okay. Whenever you see fucking assholes doing like pedo hunters or some shit on YouTube, that is the absolute. I mean, a lot of people think it's justice and they love it as content, but you have to be able to understand the difference between doing it as content and whatever you see as justice, and then doing it what would be the legal way of approaching the situation. And those are two completely different things.
We're on a different boat. I'm not talking about Twitch being like, hey guys, here are the logs. I'm talking about some anonymous source that used to work at Twitch that was there when the doc disrespect shit happened and had a copy of these fucking shits because they were crazy and being like, now's the time to drop that.
Releasing private communication between you two users is insane. Releasing two private communication between you two users where one is underage and it is sexually explicit is fucking crazy, Dan. What the fuck do you not understand about this shit? I actually don't fucking get it. What are you talking about?
I feel like you're trying to get like obsessively upset right now to try and make your bad point seem better. This is very common. People can censor
on the
them.
internet should be demanding private messages.
No one's demanding. I'm just saying it's possible they could leak. I'm saying it's possible it could leak. I don't know who's demanding.
It's from one end of the communication or the other. Either one person or the other person in the private communication is revealing.
I understand, and it is possible it can leak. Yes? And Doc feels like maybe this Cody guy, maybe he has a copy of it. He's freaking the fuck out because that's the only thing that can possibly explain his absolutely omega retarded response.
Okay, hold on. Let me just real quick. Okay, for some reason Slasher's really bad at communicating this, okay, but I understand what Slasher's saying, okay? And I maybe might agree, okay? What Slasher is saying is, let's assume, okay, let's hyperbolize a bit. Let's say that it's a 12-year-old sexting with a 45-year-old. What Slasher is saying is that there's no sane world where somebody is posting like explicit sex logs from a 12-year-old to a journalistic outlet because now you've just provided like child sexual fucking jerk-off material to the entire fucking internet that I can go and read the fucking sex logs like a fucking 12-year-old. And he's saying, this is a hyperbolic comparison, but it's like the same as saying like, oh, you really think that person like made child porn to that person? I don't believe you. Like, post the pictures, show us, prove it. That's what Slasher's saying, that you would never expect that type of material to ever be posted on the internet involving sexual communication with a minor. I think that's what he's saying.
Also, I could be wrong, but in all my time of seeing things being leaked, it's very rarely coming leaks from the platform, and it's generally from one of the two parties. So the idea that I don't think.
Oh, that is another person that could leak it too. Yeah, that's
hold on. I don't think.
Wait a minute. I'm going to read the legal description to you, okay, Dan? Everyone here.
Wait, why does that matter here?
It's on the Law Cornell website about the permitted disclosure from a provider being the platform on certain messages. A provider that submits a report under subsection A1 may only disclose information only to a law enforcement agency described in subparagraph A, B, or C, or NCMEC, which is the National Children for Missing and Exploited Children, which I explained before is where it was reported to. or as necessary to respond to a legal process, such as a subpoena. Those are the only certain times where information can be exposed, and to who? To law enforcement agency and to NCMEC. That is the standard of where these reports go to.
So that's what you're saying, okay? I understand what you're saying is that when you do a report, it goes to NCMEC, okay? Because that content is illegal, okay? And you as a service provider have to send it to them. If you do not send it to them, you literally have liability because now you have CSAM or other abuse material on your servers. So that's how you remove your liability, by sending it to them. But nothing that you're saying right now has anything to do with the fact we're talking about the person themselves that was in this conversation, or a rogue employee could go and leak these fucking messages. All of these things are absolutely possible. And all I'm saying is it feels like that's the most likely explanation for why the doc was so retarded with the responses, is that he thinks that that's coming.
Question for you, Slasher. Do you think like the people who have access to these logs, it's a very insular team? Like
yes,
very small?
Extremely tiny.
Okay.
Extremely tiny for all the logs. You can't Twitch can't just read logs.
Yeah,
but they can, right?
Well, hold on. They could, but I'm sure there should be very strict within company policies that make it very difficult to do. Now that would I don't think that'd be a legal
Amazon
thing.
has company-wide policies for this that are very strict and very
Twitter,
controlled.
Facebook can't read your DMs, okay?
Hold on,
Twitter,
chill, wait, stop. When you use the word can't, okay, they can, but policy probably makes it so they aren't allowed to, okay? And it's probably restrictive in terms of who has access to them, but they absolutely can, okay? They just have policies against it. And if they subpoena you, they absolutely will turn that over to the FBI or whatever. Like if somebody comes with a subpoena, they will turn it over, okay? So they're accessible. They just probably don't. Yes.
That's a very big distinction, the subpoena aspect in this, okay? And you need to really meet a high bar to be able to get a subpoena to get information.
I think that you listen. First off, Twitch isn't like, I understand that it's owned by Amazon, okay? But Twitch, this is 2020 when this happened. Is that right? Doc's initial shit. You know, that's like what, like 5 years into the integration of Twitch for Amazon. I'm not sure that they have the full audit trail of everything going on there. I think that if you're like a fucking pretty decent systems administrator, or you're like just a guy that's working on the trust and safety team, I'm pretty sure that you could exfil that data and no one could know that you could do it.
Hold on, wait. If you're talking about, first of all, if this was 2004, you'd be right for probably every single company. But today, if you're working for a major company, I would be shocked unless there is a huge error or a huge fuck up or some zero day on some fucking, router or box or some server somewhere. Generally, I would be very surprised if like anybody in a major tech company could just access whatever they wanted and just like dump a database somewhere. Like, oh shit, I could just do this. I'm
not saying dump a database anywhere. I'm saying someone on the safety team that had access to this data, and as they're looking at it on their computer, could literally take a fucking photo with their phone. Okay,
sure, but I'm sure who even has access to that particular data is probably very heavily restricted.
Yes, not only is it very heavily restricted, but there is like people can see who accesses it and when. You know what I mean?
Which is why I said the Twitch safety team would be a former employee that had access to it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it can, by the security team, everyone can see who is logging in and what they're doing, and there's very likely it could be told if there was a screenshot that was taken.
From your phone?
I am saying,
Twitch would have a list of like 10 people who could have possibly accessed that information.
It is very difficult.
Run down those 10 people super easily.
Yeah, not only is there a very strong chance that person is definitely going to get sued and have their life turned over. What do you think would happen if such a source were to leak this information? It would hurt the potential investigation by law enforcement.
Wait, why?
Would you want to? Because whatever potential investigation that law enforcement were to be doing on a case, there's definitely a possibility.
You know what, Slasher? Let's go ahead. We'll put my retard against your fucking journalism degree. I'll bet you $500 that the logs leak before the end of the year.
Okay, look, I will take that bet.
All right, we're on.
What? How much were you betting?
$500. And that considers a portion of the logs leaking. Okay, I'm not saying the whole thing has to.
More. No, what? More.
For what?
For the bet.
said
that.
more.
I wanted more money. Raise it.
Oh Jesus.
Let's do $1,000 and I'll
No,
hold it in
not
escrow.
enough. Not enough.
Oh,
You're just
I
trying
feel
to
like
raise it.
you're
No,
trying to make it.
No, I'm so
I'll-
confident.
okay, I will do this bet.
You deserve
Hold
like
on.
you deserve like 2 or 3 to 1 odds, or even like 10 to 1 odds. But no, if you just want to go straight up, we're fucking. Let's just go. Let's just go to like 10K or something.
Bro, Slasher went from like a humble journalist just trying to make it to now like big dicking it in the bet. That's
I feel
crazy.
like he's
think you
trying
can cover
to.
10 to 1 odds on 10K.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait. So who gets the odds in this case? Is that
No,
me?
you should, but you're too stupid to fucking understand what is happening. So no, it's just straight up.
Okay. Listen, I don't think you have $10,000, but if you do, I'll happy to escrow that with him. I'll do $1,000 also.
Okay.
But this is an escrowed
Who
bet.
called
This
for
is-
you to insult my personal? You don't know fucking anything about me, Dan.
What? I'm not saying anything about it. I'm betting that the logs will leak,
Oh,
and you're
okay,
calling me
well-
retarded, saying that it's not possible.
We'll say 10K.
It really
Hold
is.
on.
It's so absurd. I actually can't even believe
We'll
it.
say it's 10K and I'll DM you both privately to set up the escrow, okay?
You want to do it, Slasher?
All right. Did you guys see the tweet from a guy named Roum who said he worked there and he had access to most of the data information?
All I've been told about that guy from multiple trusted sources that are within and ex Twitch is that he should not really be trusted.
Okay, he's just yapping. Gotcha.
There are many Twitch and ex Twitch employees that are not happy with him right now. No, it does not seem like he is a very reliable person.
But hold up, did he work in the
I've not spoken to him. I do not know anything. I don't know.
Okay, Destiny, did you see this guy's tweet?
Show me which tweet?
I'm gonna give it to you so you can read it because
Okay.
it's yours.
Just real quick, Slasher, I don't know if you heard Abba's question. He said, did this guy work in trust and safety? Can you confirm that for us? That he worked in trust and safety?
But just go read the piece.
Okay, so you can't confirm or deny that Roum worked in
read-
trust and safety?
Oh, I don't know anything about Roum.
Okay, all right.
I honestly, I don't know his Twitch background. Honestly, I've just been told multiple times, do not fucking listen to this guy.
Okay, but I think Abba has a point that if he's from trust and safety, if he worked there, then I would probably want to read through stuff with, taking it with a grain of salt. But
Yeah, no,
I would actually want to read through some of his statements.
I cannot personally say anything about him, though I did just get a funny text about him. I can't say one way or the other than I've just been warned multiple times without me even having to prompt anything. I've just been messaged.
Oh, this is
by
the guy that I
multiple
retweeted, and I says he's gonna say something, but doesn't say anything at all. This guy. Oh, I don't know.
multiple ex and current employees reached out and be like, specifically, this guy, do not listen to. But I don't have any personal reason not to. I can't say anything myself about why you shouldn't or should.
Yeah.
But I trust these people reaching out. I trust them more than I trust this guy. So I'm leaning that way.
Wow.
Did we put to bed that fake email that came out? The one to
No, it is not
some
real.
commentary guy?
It is not real.
Yeah.
What about
That's
the
fine.
the
All right,
trans
good.
sex worker thing with Doc? Is that real?
Cannot confirm. I don't see any reason to think that she made all that up, but I haven't spoken to her. I don't know.
I mean, it looked real. There was a recording. And by the way, Slasher, I've realized now, as someone tells me that I autistically speak autistically sometimes, this is not me trying to fight you. I was just trying to come up with any way possible to understand why Doc would do what he's doing. And the only thing that clicks in my mind is he thinks that the release of the logs is imminent and he's trying to get in front of it. That's where that's coming from.
Well, no, the Bloomberg report came out. And as much as you want to say that, like, it didn't have additional information and that journalists don't matter and that who fucking cares, that is a real publication with real lawyers who means they really vetted it, and that requires a response. There was no, and not only was it that, but everybody, all Nick and Tim did the video before he made his tweet. There were a lot of people that had already responded to the reporting. That I think at that point it was inevitable he had to already say something, he probably was in panic mode. I don't think it was because I think there was 0% of him that thought that, quote unquote, the logs would come out. I think it was just because of what was actually unfolding.
Well, I'm trying to think about like what data has actually been released here. All that's been released is basically people saying,
God damn it, Dan. The main point. I
can't even speculate without you going nuts. I just said all that's been released is that Doc was banned for sexting with a minor.
Because you sound like, I feel like every person on the internet, and it is very frustrating. It's basically, if you don't trust journalists and you don't give a shit about their reporting, then obviously you're going to have all these questions and they're always going to remain unanswered, and you're always going to be annoyed that you don't have this piece of info, and you think this is kind of weird and odd. And I agree, there are certain contexts to this case that can be questioned. But if you trust journalists and their reporting and their sourcing, then at this point, the whole thing is relatively clear. It's not that you have most of the facts from it, and it's relatively easy, I think, to put together, in my opinion. It's only based on if you trust certain reporting.
I have no idea. Did you not hear what I'm saying? I said, wow, I'm like I do trust journalists. Okay, first of all, I'm just trying to understand why the doc went full retard. Okay, because the journalists that I do trust, okay, like yourself, that wrote this story, but all they've said is that he was banned for texting with a minor. That's it. That's like I feel like the doc could have said 1,000 things that would have been better to say than what he said. He said the worst thing ever. There has to be a reason that he's like, of all the things I could say.
I think he just went to panic mode. I mean, I don't have any insight. I don't think it was because he was afraid of more. I think what I'm trying to tell you is you're undervaluing how much the impact the Bloomberg article report had. I'm telling you
he definitely just knows the document is out there. He's worried about the trust and safety report coming out. That's what he's worried about. That will characterize the messages.
I think the Bloomberg report from a 1 to 10 has got to be like a 9.5 on the I am fucked, and that is what made him panic. Again, no, but I really don't think it is a looking forward more. I mean, look, I cannot say that there's not more. I cannot say that there's not more about maybe other cases or other potential situations, and that there might be even more to this specific case. So that is possible. But I really think it was an instinctive reaction to the Bloomberg report, and then people reacting to the Bloomberg report. Personally,
when was the Bloomberg report compared to Doc's tweets?
The Bloomberg report is what started everything.
It was that morning that kicked off.
That morning.
So it was the morning, and then around noon, Doc tweeted his final big write-up tweet.
The full retardation one, right? Okay.
Yes, the Bloomberg report preceded the eventual.
I could imagine being the Doc, and you're getting a call from Bloomberg being like, "Hi, I'm a journalist at Bloomberg, and I'm writing a story about how you were texting minors, and we have sources on record now, and I just wanted to get your comment." I could imagine him being like, "Fuck, they have a paper trail, they have actual evidence." They're going to release a lot of shit. I have to get ahead of this. That's what I would be thinking. That's why I went back to I think the doc was fearful that something was going to get leaked, the logs or an internal report or something saying like, yeah, so Doc was here talking with a 13-year-old, said multiple times, I love that 13-year-old butthole or whatever it is. And that's what he was afraid of, because up until then, and even with the article, it's just like, not that,
I can't believe that's what you think would happen, or even you think that he think that is what. I don't know.
Well, I think Doc is more like me. In the retardation part. Sorry. Apparently. Got to be careful with that one. Whoops.
Sorry, I walked away. Dan's 100% correct. There's no reason the doc would come out and say, "Yeah, I was inappropriate with a minor," unless he knew something was coming out.
Yeah,
knew for a fact, hey, 10 people have this document.
He's trying to get ahead of it. That's it. There's the only way you do this. Sure. It's the only way if you're trying to get ahead of it.
Bloomberg had to give him 12 to 24 hours to make a comment. So he knew he was given contact beforehand asking for comment. I'll also say that he had the same thing from me. I filed, my report came out on Thursday afternoon. He was asked for comment on Wednesday afternoon. I never heard back. There was no response for comment, but there was indication to him that there will be something coming and that the questions given to him were in the reporting. So he does have forewarning that a report is going to be coming because he is asked for comment. Every person and or entity, in these reports that have come out were asked for comment. Most of them just did not respond to comment. Twitch did not respond to comment. Dr. Disrespect did not respond to comment. YouTube did not respond to comment. Like the comment that I got on record was from the ex-head of Twitch, of YouTube gaming. Like current YouTube, which I asked for comment based on his statement, did not reply. So that's actually pretty standard. You reach out to a bunch of people to ask if you have any comment, and most of them won't even say no, they just won't even answer. But they do have forewarning beforehand to at least try to craft something, which should actually be even worse, because if you think that Doc had forewarning the Bloomberg article was coming, that he would have had a better tweet than what happened.
He was probably assuming that something crazy was going to be in the article. Like Doc knows what's in those DMs, right? It must be something fucking wild. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, I think that actually goes without saying. He was fucking banned from Twitch. It must be fucking crazy. It's not like going to be like some minor faux pas, like, oh, haha, you're 17, lol, can't wait. Like, it's not going to be that. It's going to be some fucking crazy shit.
Well, we don't actually know that, right? Because we can imagine worlds where if it was absolutely fucking crazy, if it was too crazy, would the parents of the child be okay with no statement being made, with no charges being filed, no settlement? It might be the case that, like, because if it was, maybe you would expect, well, no, then it absolutely would have leaked. Like, somebody would have said something, or the parents would have made a stink about it, right? Or there would have been an arrest.
Or there was a settlement also with the parents.
Those are possibilities.
All of those are possible, yeah. But I'm saying we don't know the answer to that, right?
Yes, the possibilities still unclear on what the detailed agreement is. And look, I don't want to make it seem like I'm joking about. I really have, as the years have gone by and I've been beaten down by the entire internet and every single personality calling me a liar, and then just a clout chaser and all that. I even here and then made a joke about like this situation because it's like a coping mechanism on how much but I understand that should not be done. It really is a serious situation. It's not intended for there to be comedic value.
What do you think about the CEO's comments about it then?
Dan?
Yeah.
That I thought was in very poor taste, especially to do it with Mizkif. I thought that was kind of unbelievable.
What do you think about Cody's comments, like joking about getting rid of leaking it if his band sold enough tickets?
That was wrong. That was wrong, and him tagging me also not a good look on me. I can take full responsibility. That is not. I should not be doing that. Cody should not be doing that. And then for the situation to evolve like this with Cody doing that, it is a very bad look. Cody,
that guy looks like shit, by the way.
It was a joke, but again, no, jokes should not have been made in. Now that information has come to light, no, it is not a responsible thing to do. So I was wrong to do that. I can own that. And it should be taken more seriously than internet jokes. I mean, there's a lot of this entire thing because of it was so hidden where, anyone who's not directly involved, they don't know. And like making jokes about it is pretty easy. There's like a million different things that you could make fun of. But, I shouldn't be doing it. I don't want it to seem like I take happiness in all of this. I feel vindicated somewhat that I can clear my name to some people there's still people out there that either still think I fucking lied and or I covered for Dr. Disrespect, both of which are not true. They're not going to be convinced, most likely. But for some, they will be able to trust me again. People hate me for fucking totally unrelated reasons. I mean, whatever. That's all good. But I do feel somewhat vindicated, but I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm happy about this entire story, which is, it's awful. None of this is good. I didn't find
Well, him getting caught is good.
I didn't find glee in, this entire saga. It was not fun.
It's good for him getting caught, right?
Yes. Even though I have no idea how this will affect his career going forward. It seems
I'm pretty sure for 2 reasons his career is over. Number one, all of his friends are like the super hate trans, hate gay people, all that type of shit. And there's fucking DMs now of Doc jerking off with a fucking trans sex worker. So it's over on that front. And it's over on the front that they're not too kind also with the whole pedophile thing also. Or a pedophile.
You just said he was gripping it, bro. Come on.
Yeah, that's like the new squeezing the hog.
Chill.
Listen, Twitch, or sorry, Doc is done. And not just on YouTube, okay? He's done. He's actually done.
I mean, him getting demonetized and having some subscriptions removed is pretty significant, I will say. But who's to say, he can't go to Kick or Rumble and become a rebel and
there's no fucking shot.
And go on an arc that makes him like the Joker, Dr. Disrespect, and he gets 4 times.
Rumble and Kick are done with being the platforms for pedophiles. They're both done. That's never happening.
Yeah, he's for sure donezo at this point. And also, Slasher, I want to say, I feel like sometimes when you're on the inside looking in, okay, which is what you are, you're on the inside looking in, you assume the worst about people's intents towards you. And I just want to say that, people, I don't think, you keep saying this, people assume that you were lying, that you didn't know anything like that.
I've been told many times. I cannot describe to you how many times I have been lying.
Okay, all of us, myself included,
liar piece of shit is hundreds of thousands of times.
No, we were just saying that because we wanted to know. Okay?
I'm not imagining it. Yeah, you two are just joking. That's fine.
No. Everyone else too. We said that. Tell us why he was banned. Tell us. That's why. They didn't think you had fake info. That would be insane. It's just they're fucking pissed because I want to know why is Doc banned? Why? Tell me.
So much of my pain was self-inflicted, and again, my fucking fault, my bad. Don't make those tweets. Please learn from me. If you have information, don't just say you do it. Either do the reporting or shut the fuck up. Those are your 2 options. I understand it was self-inflicted, but it's not like I'm imagining it.
No. There was a third option here, Rod. There was a third option,
Snowden.
absolutely. That was becoming anonymous and leaking this stuff, basically making an anonymous paste bin, saying, here's the stuff I've been told, and then you yourself retweeting it and being like, that's weird. There's absolutely a third path here that you haven't acknowledged. And
the WikiLeaks strategy.
I would want to know why exactly I don't know how exactly you get away from the idea that you wanted the clout from this, and that's why you didn't leak it.
No, he obviously didn't because he didn't do it.
No. I'm saying anonymously. Doc objectively went to another platform, made millions of dollars, still had a massive public profile after doing all of this. And Slasher knew about it, so I'm saying I totally trust that you knew about it. How exactly do we get away from the idea that you covered for him? You could have just published this anonymously.
That's a little rough. To sweep for Slasher.
I'm saying hypothetically.
It's a scary situation. I can imagine being in that place. Even look at me on the podcast 2 months ago. Me I heard in Rust from a guy buying a mini at Outpost. Even I'm thinking okay, what's really actually likely to have happen in this situation right here? So I can understand that he had fear. Okay, I'm about to fuck with a guy that's worth tens of millions of dollars. How dangerous is this for me?
Don't forget Amazon. Don't you say it's just Amazon? No, bro. Fucking Amazon.
So I understand that.
Scary Amazon.
Right. I understand all this is it's a real. So that's that. You can't just say, oh, he did it for clout or didn't do it for clout. Now, to be clear, I do agree with you. I think that you should have become Assange or Snowden and become the fucking you're a Greenwald or someone and been the dude who fucking broke the rules and leaked it anyways. And Amazon suing you would have been the best thing in the world. What could you have actually lost? You know what I mean? Your house was homesteaded.
Assange and Snowden were able to do that because they had documents. That was really what allowed them to do certain things without having documents, which did not exist really until 5 days ago. It becomes it really is so difficult.
Sure. I'm just arguing, and I'm not trying to actually say you did this. I'm saying there are people who think this, right? Who think that like, hey, you covered for this guy. I'm saying to put to bed those rumors, those thoughts. Like, why exactly did you decide not to go the anonymous route at all?
It didn't feel right. Shouldn't be doing that. Either I can report it myself professionally, or I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
Can I ask you a question on this thing? So let's say I give you firsthand information about Destiny, okay? And I show you stuff, but I don't let you make a copy. But you know now this is legit shit. So I show you a video of Destiny stomping on puppies, and it's like the most fucked up shit you've ever seen, but you know this is legit. Like, you can't deepfake what I just showed you. You're throwing up. It's so fucking unbelievably fucked. And he's sitting there saying, yeah, look, dogs, doesn't matter. I eat them for meat. Why would I care about them here? Like, the whole thing, it's real. I've shown you this. I'm obviously a good friend of Destiny, the whole thing, but I'm like, listen, I can't give you a copy of this. He knows I'm the only one who has a copy. I don't even know why he sent it to me. Are you going to report on it?
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd report the shit out of it.
I need the copy of the tape.
If you know.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah,
I need the copy.
The hypothetical here isn't really even that hypothetical. This guy has gone and targeted a minor and said, yeah, I don't care that you're 16, 17, whatever the age was. Said, no, that's fine. I'm going to keep making sexual comments. He has this pattern set up. Like, how... I don't understand. Is there no moral imperative here for you at all? That you need to make sure that this guy doesn't continue to go on and victimize more people?
There is, but, Twitch is doing their own investigation. It's not for me to... The only person who should be, if they ever want to speak, is the victim.
No. I'm sorry, this is the most broken mindset in my opinion. Okay? Victims have a duty to report stuff like this. People have a duty to actually make sure that this doesn't happen in the future. This is like, it's so brain dead, in my opinion, to go, oh, well, we have to defend the victim. That's our number one priority. No, my number one priority is making sure more victims don't happen. We can't unrape that fucking person, okay?
So as a real...
We can't
I'm
sexualize that person.
Yeah, hold on real quick. I'm sympathetic towards this, and it works in almost all cases, except the issue is you run into one huge part at the beginning of the reporting process, and that's that the goal should be to reduce future harm to minors. So if somebody reports something, then you should say like, oh shit, well, we need to do this even if they don't want to come forward. But then the issue might be that when somebody wants to report something in the future, they're like, fuck, like I'd report on this guy, but like I don't want any of my shit public. Like I'm just not going to report it. It's not worth the deal. I think that's the issue.
A reporter's duty is to the news always. That's true. Isn't there like even the thing with reporters that like, like they have advanced knowledge of something going on, but they're embedded with a group? Like this kind of happened with Hamas, didn't it? During the October 7th thing?
If you advance knowledge of a crime, I believe you have to inform on the crime. But it's not like I had advanced knowledge of the information. There was already an investigation happening prior to the information.
So, can I ask then, did you have some plan to release this overall?
If you're a nature photographer, are you supposed to stop the polar bear from killing the penguin?
No, but that's boring. For most people like Nat Geo and shit, you're literally never supposed to interact with the animals, but these are animals. It's different. Also, there's a distinction, like if you have knowledge of a crime, I don't believe you have an obligation for reporting, but if you have knowledge of a crime that is going to be committed, then you do have an obligation. So if Slasher got DMs saying like, Doc's gonna go meet this girl at like fucking 4 p.m. blah, 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 I think Slasher would have an obligation to say something.
That can't be true, because hasn't there been like vice journalists and shit like that literally get embedded and they're like, okay, we're going into the rainforest to learn how to make coke. Like that would never, that's a crime that they're literally going to watch and make happen.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows coke is getting made in Colombia.
Or you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying that like obviously that can't be it's not possible that that's a standard.
I think in different countries, and when it comes to like cocaine or like international affairs, it might be different. But like I can't think of a single example in the United States. You can tell me wrong, but I can think of an single example in the United States.
They did an interview with the Kia boys, and they were there when they stole cars. That was a recent one. I've seen that.
Where they what?
Where they watch them, they're like, this is how they're doing it.
Oh, for stuff like that, maybe, yeah. But when it comes to things like rape or murder, I think that there's like an obligation for like a certain level of crimes that you have to report that. Like, I can't think of an example of a journalist who's like, okay, well, today we're going to follow this gang. Like, they said they're going to go and kill this guy. We're going to go and report on this. I don't think you're allowed to just do that and then do a report. I think you have an obligation to report there.
I have a better question for you. Because I think so much of discussion is on Twitch, and I have reported that Twitch did report this to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Why not?
You have that on record?
Yes. Why not request?
That's a big deal.
Why not?
A big deal.
Why not request that they have released information, or why not request that law enforcement through this entire time, which then very likely at the behest of NCMEC to do something, say something.
Hold on. This is we're about to make a clip for Livestream Fail Slasher, okay? What you're telling me, okay, is that what Doc did, okay, rose to the level that for a fact Twitch was forced to make a report to the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children.
CSEA and CSAM report.
What I'm asking is that Twitch did make that report to the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children.
Yes. All of them go there. Yes.
Okay. And they did that for Dr. Disrespect right now.
Yes.
Wow.
When it was initially reported, all reports with CSEA or CSAM are reported to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children.
Okay. So there is a report on Dr. Disrespect at the National Center.
The legal process after, again, no court records have ever been found. I've never been able to get law enforcement to comment or even acknowledge that a thing exists. Do not have details on where it went after. All right.
Just to be clear, though, those are just reports, right? So, like, for instance, if I think that Forethought has been engaged in bad behavior in my subreddit, like, if I would make that report to them. They would have that report file. That doesn't mean anything. It's just a report, right?
Well, NCMEC automatically works with all law enforcement organizations.
Sure, I'm just saying that, like, a report is just a report. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like, something happened. It just means somebody felt like they had an obligation to make that report, right?
Yeah, well, Twitch is obligated to make that report.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me reiterate for the fourth time. I'm just saying that just because a report has been made doesn't mean a crime has been committed. It just means somebody felt like they need to make a report.
But investigation will happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll leave that part out for the clip.
I'm telling you, Dan, Justin News chat still thinks I'm full of shit. This entire
they don't think you're full of shit. They wanted you to become Assange. Do you not understand? You were the chosen one, but you backed into the shadows.
Everything that I'm explaining, they definitely think I'm full of shit. I guarantee you. I love you, man, but I'm not.
No, Slasher, can I ask you where that reporting is? I don't see it in the Rolling Stone article. I don't see it in the Bloomberg article.
Where what reporting
that
is?
The report was made to the National Agency for Missing and Exploited Children, or whatever.
I can say that it is being edited in as we speak.
Okay, so is that new information dropping here?
No, it was information which was included and then removed from the edit and then published, and then actually today having a lot of discussion about re-including it with the source so it could be included.
Well, it is dropping here first.
It is true. Yes.
That is. Listen, I will say that
I'm told by an authorized source that yes, he was reported to NCMEC, and that all reports with CSEA and CSAM are reported to NCMEC.
I mean, that takes a lot of that's a lot of air out of the wiggle room that the doc has right now.
Wait, a lot of air out of the wiggle room for what?
Did you know that this?
Wait, what?
In terms of what the conduct actually was?
Well, it rose to the level that people that for a living interact with NCMEC, okay, decided that it fit the criteria of submitting it. That's what it meant.
Yes.
That means that trained people viewed Doc's conversation and determined that it contained either child sexual abuse material or pornographic images directly. That's what it means. That trained people saw this and determined that was the case.
Trained people like people at Twitch or
at Twitch, yeah. Man, they're kind of like mandatory reporters. How it works is that when you run a tech company, well, I mean, really, when you run any company that deals with user-generated content, you would be fucked if like a user submitted like child porn or something to your stream, you would be fucked, right?
Yeah, but like
But the
everything
way
that you've just said, like Dr. Disrespect already said, essentially this.
What? I'm sorry. Said what? Did Dr.
That he had
Disrespect?
conversations with a minor, and some of them
Oh,
might
I'm
have.
sorry. I didn't know that if you talk with a minor that you get reported to NCMEC. That's cool.
If you,
Oh,
if
hold
you
on.
have-
Wait. Shut the fuck up, Slasher. My bad. Dan had a sundowning moment where apparently he didn't realize that I was like in the middle of a fucking sentence. He said on Twitter that he had conversations with a minor and some of them went too far or might have veered into inappropriate territory. That would be enough, my guess is, for a report to NCMEC or whatever.
Okay, you're wrong.
Really? Why?
No, Dan, Destiny is correct.
Essentially, you're telling me, you fucking retards. I'm the only one who's
Oh,
actually...
here's the tiny chat boy.
training.
Here it goes. Here it comes.
I've actually done it and been through the fucking training because I ran a company that dealt with them and did reports with it. So you guys are both fucking retarded, okay? I have Destiny over here trying to be like, well, actually, it's this way. And Slasher, who's probably doesn't even know how these things are reported, okay? It's not done through that, first off.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us what you just Googled, Dan. Go ahead.
My God, there's a special portal directly for internet service providers to do this. It's different than what the public gets access to, okay? And it has to fit a very strict criteria of what you're doing, okay? If you go on Discord and send a message to Mr. Mitten 3 years ago and say, lick my balls, guess what? You're not getting reported to fucking NCMEC, are you?
Wait, where's this criteria listed?
It's on the site. I don't have access anymore.
The actions that Dr. Respect was
serious
involved in are considered child exploitation and abuse.
There you go. That's what it is. Yes, that's it. So you understand what that the difference between that and you telling Mr. Mouton to suck your balls when he was a minor, and why those two things are not the same?
I never said they were the same.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that a trained person at Twitch, whose job is to analyze this stuff, determined that, again, based on what's being said here, determined that this rose to the level of child sexual abuse material. That's all. It's saying that it rose to that level. It wasn't something like, it went a little bit too far. We were just JKing or joshing around.
Well, hold on. No, went a little bit too far can literally meet that criteria. Yes. Which is exactly what Doc tweeted. Yes.
Yes, you saying a little bit too far is ambiguous.
Doc.
I mean, my reporting specifically says it was explicit after it was indicated what the ex-Twitch employee says, who viewed the whispers, after Doc was indicated that the victim was a minor, the explicit messages continued with the hope to meet up at TwitchCon. And that is considered CSEA, sexual abuse.
Yeah. So quoting from Doc's thing, were there
Gates.
Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Yeah, that sounds like it would hit the threshold every time. Here's the, as a general rule of thumb, if you ever have to clarify your intentions around a message to a minor to make people understand that they weren't sexual, you're probably in spooky territory. If you were to say, whoa, my intentions here weren't you probably need to that my guess is almost anything that would be spoken about in this manner is going to hit the threshold for being reported. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
What happened constitutes CSEA, all CSEA and CSAM is sent to NCMEC. I could also say viewing the document, which is the actual report, that's what the document confirms that is what it was for, CSEA.
So just to reiterate, the doc confirmed child sexual abuse.
CSEA / CSAM.
Alleged perpetrator, according to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have another question for Rod. If we're stalling here, did you know this in 2020 that they'd reported it, or did they only report it recently? Do you know when they reported it precisely?
The victim reported during 2020. The whispers are from 2017.
Wait. The victim reported to Twitch, or the victim reported to the National Center? I don't know the acronym.
Okay, it was reported in 2020. It was reported in 2020.
Wait, to Twitch or the center?
To Twitch.
And
Twitch gets a report, then Twitch does an investigation, then Twitch sends it to NCMEC.
Okay, I think that's new information as well, that it was the victim themselves that reported it.
Well,
Nope,
that's been out there.
That's been out there, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, was that out there? Okay,
yeah.
I knew it was reported, but
It was reported by Cecilia. It was reported only in 2020 while, all the other sexual misconduct stuff was coming out by Twitch. And then the whispers are from several years beforehand.
Yes, 2017.
Yes.
Okay, and just as far as your knowledge went, you were unaware of these reports and the forwarding on to that National Center for like CSAM material?
Well, no, I mean,
2020?
In 2020, several days after, I did have a message with a trust and safety employee at the time who could view the report and see CSCA, CSAM, listed, but there was no way to.
They weren't willing to take a screenshot and give it to you.
Yeah, no way to.
taking your
Yeah,
word for it.
I can't. Yes, I can't just. No, yeah, it's not a thing that is usable. So
Okay.
No, again, this document did not leak out, still anonymous, not sure where it came from within Twitch, but that only came out a couple days ago. It probably will not be shown. I'm not going to publish it. Should not be published by other people. So you're not even going to get that either, honestly.
Twitch is at 14,508 reports of this shit in 2022.
Not a good look for Twitch.
Not a good look for Twitch streamers.
Well,
I think if it rises to that level, you have to announce that with the ban.
That's why.
I don't
That's why
think you can let him go.
Destiny's not a Twitch streamer because he can't condone that type of behavior. What does it say on there for Kick, by the way? Destiny.
2022.
Well, given that it's 2022.
No, that's fine. So there's nothing listed. Yeah. So he's on the non-child exploitative site. I know some this is bad. Twitch 14,000 reports of child porn. That's fucking wild.
Maybe I was banned from Twitch for not being enough of a pedophile.
Apparently, holy shit.
That's why Hassan talks about it so much.
Oh my god. Wow, Twitch has 10 times 4chan. Well, yeah, but what type of reporting infrastructure do you think that 4chan actually has? Well, yep.
Wow.
All right, good talk, guys.
Bye. I hope it was a good talk.
Slasher, you're fine, man. You need to listen. Back to basics, okay? Get a little bit frisky, okay? That's all. That's my advice for life. Get a little bit frisky, okay? Play fast and loose with the rules. Make a name for yourself. Get out there. Hit the streets. Be like, what's the name of that fucking reporter from The Wire who was working with McNulty? Come on, Destiny. What's the name of that guy?
Of the Wire, I don't remember.
Season 4.
Yeah, the dude with the homeless people. What's the name of that dude? Oh man.
The one that was making up stories?
Yes, that guy. You need to become him. He made a name for himself. His editor was like, "Listen, bro, why are these people not? Why you not have names?" Like, they didn't want to be named. All right. It wasn't Bubbles, you fucking morons.
Damn.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh no, Bubbles was the homeless crack guy.
Yeah, exactly. This was the fucking white dude, and then McNulty was like, "I know you're full of shit, because I'm full of shit." That's what we have to do, Slasher. Okay?
That is some great life advice. Thank you. I will
just become your inner Assange. You know what I mean? Don't play it safe.
I'm pretty sure people already think I'm that guy. What you're saying is the guy that makes shit up all the time. You're saying that should be the guy I should be.
You're retarded.
And they
think you're a pussy, not that you make things up. That's why you have to change it. You already have the credibility. Now you just need to become a GigaChat. That's it. Fuck the rules.
I appreciate the confidence, Dan. I really do. I really thank you.
I'm literally speaking for the people. Like, if you think that I'm like saying something that's untrue as for the public, then you're misinterpreting the public.
No, I usually have a pretty good read on how many people don't like me and for why, unfortunately. But again, thank you, Dan. I'm going to consider it.
All right. Be a rebel. All right.
Yeah.
Wild shit. You can do it. on the front lines. I know you can.
I'm on it.
Listen, I will say that for us Jewish folk, it does not come naturally. Okay?
Are you too?
Yeah.
No wonder we're so fucking stupid. I see what the chat is saying now.
Listen,
it.
it goes against our natural instinct to stay out of the limelight and to stay safe in the corners, okay? But you got to do it, all right? That's what I've learned in life. You got to go for fucking broke. Go wild, man, all right? It's rough. It's rough in the streets, but you can fucking do it.
I feel like we've been on this whole time. I have not seen enough like Pepe Jew comments in chat. I feel like there'd be way more.
This is a very Jewish supportive.
Didn't like Destiny? Haven't you like brought in the entire Groiper allegiance?
No, you're repeating retarded shit that you've heard from fucking Hassan that has no basis in reality. No.
My God.
Did you hear the stories? You're going to report on how Hassan rapes minors in brothels in Germany when he goes overseas and he sex tours for women that are destitute, that are abducted from Romania and Ukraine, and they get shoved into these brothels, and Hassan goes and he fucks some of this socialist cock. You ever hear anything about that, or? The fuck out of here. Nothing that if you ever hear anything about me from Hassan, it is always a fucking lie, okay?
I thought actually no, independently, you've been able to bring like together like Israeli nationalists and the Groypers together unified.
No, the Groypers hate me. The Groypers have hated me forever. You know what the Groypers like? They like Hassan because Hassan retweets their shit about me all the fucking time. Like I have literally videos watching Hassan on stream retweeting fucking Nazi Groyper accounts because they're shitting on me. It's like my #1 source of like weird internet shit about me online at the moment. Is Hassan repeating Fuentes fan attacks on me? No, it's fucking retarded.
I thought you could get like the black Israelites, like the Israeli nationalists, like
there's
the
like
Groypers.
First off, there's like 7 black Israelites. Total.
No, not here in New York. This is their home.
Listen, there's like a few of them total. They're very, very small. I would be surprised if there was 1,000 of them.
But they're all here. They come in numbers. They're always in Times Square.
Yeah, that's what they say about us, bro.
And wherever Kyrie is, they got his back. So they were in Brooklyn for a long time. I feel like they're not going to Dallas anytime soon. But okay, I'm sorry, Steven.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. I love you.
Buddy. I didn't know they didn't fuck with you, or they hated you.
The public perception over here. Maybe we are out of. Am I out of touch, or is it the chat that's wrong?
I accidentally ran into like the Groyper headquarters here in New York City. Totally accidentally found the America's First Red Scare podcast fan club, where every person which tries to meet there. And I've invited Destiny to come because I felt like he'd be a good.
Because he loves them so much.
Well, no, the owner I know watches Destiny and likes his content. So I don't know what that says, but he enjoys Destiny. I was always like, yeah, you should bring Destiny and do debates there and actually fill the room. They like to do a lot of like poetry and fucking shit, which I don't care about. But it's like the leftist, right wing, cool fascist hangout spot. It's called Sovereign House. It's called Sovereign House. I know no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
You mean Soho House?
No, Sovereign House. There's this, Razzlecon, the crypto money launderer that did like a rap. The rapping crypto girl. Now you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You fucking look up.
No idea what the fuck you're talking about.
You look up Razzlecon, the Razzlecon rap. Okay, I promise you, it's entertaining. Anyway, I ran into her at an A16Z party. It was for like crypto mixed with video games, mixed with esports, and then this fucking girl kept wanting to talk to me randomly, and it was this person, and she was with like this Russian game developer, and she was like, "Hey, you want to go like hang out somewhere?" And then she brought me to this America's First hangout place with like the group. It was like Groyper headquarters in New York City. Very interesting. They do like parties all the time. I don't know. It's weird.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I completely lost it.
I accidentally found the Groyper New York City headquarters. It's odd, but not super surprising, I gotta say, in person about like what they're like.
Okay.
So I definitely think you should do an event there. An event there.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been telling Steven a bunch of times I think you should do an event this place because it's just so weird to me.
Why would I want to associate with super weird?
You've done all type. You did like that Minds conference. That was, I mean, that was bigger, of course, but those are a bunch of weirdos too.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that like fucking oh god, fuck, I don't remember his fucking name. Like literally the Project Veritas dude was there. Like, yeah, why would I not do an event like that? What's the name of that guy? He got kicked out of Veritas. Thanks God. Yeah, why would I not? Yeah, why would I not do that event? Obviously.
It's similar
Glenn
crowd.
Greenwald. No, different guy.
It's a similar crowd of people. Like Sovereign House hosted like Christopher
James
Russo
O'Keefe,
and the Lord Miles, the guy that keeps going to like Afghanistan and like doing things. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
They host some pretty big, feels like somewhat overlapping creators. I don't know. I've been seeing Destiny go on this whole fucking arc of whatever. You know, I met with you, Steven, and you wouldn't fucking hang out. I'm very, very sad about that.
What do you mean? We literally met and chatted, didn't we?
I know, but I was like, yo, can we go, like, want to go to, like, dinner or something?
Yeah,
and
but you're
like,
catching me, like, on events, bro. My schedules are packed when I'm doing these things. If you met me...
You weren't coming to hang out in New York recreationally.
Hey, you can come down to Miami.
Actually, wait. Yeah, you could.
There
True. You could do that. But also, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Wait, wasn't there another big streamer that literally fucking completely blew you off and ignored you?
Yeah, I got pissed at him, too.
Yeah, wait, hold on. No, you didn't get pissed at him. He gave you a bullshit-ass excuse, and you immediately agreed with it and ran off. He was literally streaming in New York, okay? He was literally over there streaming, doing fucking
nothing. I said
nothing.
it was bullshit. I told him it was bullshit. I said, yeah, that's, you know.
I don't remember.
I let him just answer and be like, yeah, that's a great answer. Just like yours, great answer. I understand both of you don't want to hang out with me. It's fine.
We literally met in chatted. What are you talking about?
I know, it was good. It was good to see
I didn't have a whole night to fucking spend with you, but like, Jesus. Damn.
It really was. It really was good to see you. I know, but I want to, you know, just catch up for a bit.
Okay, well.
While you're in town. Because I have not been to Miami in a while. No, I'm not just around.
Well, the invitation is open for you. Let us know.
Yeah, okay. Like, you know, Richard, I was with Richard in New York, and then we hung out for a while, and then he went straight to Miami to do the show.
Well, we had just started, so it wasn't like we chose the cooler journalist, even though we did. Just kidding.
Richard's way cooler than me.
He is way cooler. He's British and he drinks probably more. I mean, Jews can't be that cool in general, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but look, it's open opportunity for you. Okay, you let me know, and we'll make that happen. And just remember to be a chill kitty cat. All right, that's all you got to do. Relax. It'll be okay.
We're neurotic at birth. You know that.
Yes.
Who's we?
I think he means like Jews in general. But I have overcome, okay, through a lot of other okay. You too can overcome.
See, Stephen, I'm really good at kind of using my Jewishness for self-deprecation and jokes, and then shying away when it comes to like a super serious issue.
That's Bezda.
Well,
yeah, well.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else.
When are you coming here to New York next, Stephen?
Possibly next month. We'll see.
Oh, yeah? Conference? Talk?
To
chill?
I'm waiting on like... There's like 3 different things that I'm waiting to confirm for next month. We'll see. I have no idea yet.
How long have you been in Miami now? Have you been there the whole time? No, right.
I think 2 or 3 years.
You like it?
I don't care.
You see yourself staying there for a while?
There's no state income tax, and I've got kind of roots here at the moment. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. It seems okay.
You hang out with Felix?
No.
A bunch? Never?
No, not yet.
Has he invited you to the Panthers game? Damn,
no.
What a friend, man.
Fuck no. Sports games kill me.
Bro, you just won the Stanley Cup Finals. You weren't even
Who won? I won?
Aware?
What did I win?
You can, now that you've been there for a couple years, you just have fake fandom. You can pretend that you've been a Panthers fan your entire life and you've been rooting them ever since you were a kid, and they had never won a Stanley Cup Finals before in their lifetime, and this is the first time, and you're just so fucking happy and excited to see it in real life.
Wow.
You should tell people that, okay? Pretending to be like a lifelong fan of a team to a city that you just moved to that won a championship is a tale as old as time. All right, always adopt and adapt the team that you just moved to if they're good, and the Panthers are really good right now.
Okay.
but don't be a Heat fan. They're a bunch of pussies.
Okay.
Even though Heat culture is a real thing, I think you would be in line with Heat culture. I feel like you really represent that aesthetic that they have.
Okay. I don't know anything about sports. I don't know why you're trying. I literally cannot engage. I can't even joke on the subject. I have no idea.
I know you like to debate all the time. Like, I wish I could debate like the NBA GOAT with you, like the top 15 pyramid of the top 15 players of all time. I feel like those are the types of debate that I want to hear from.
Well, you can do it about cars. He doesn't know anything about cars at all.
No, I want Stephen to do the Stephen A. Smith arc. You know, try to be Stephen A. or Skip Bayless. I feel like that is something that's a whole new world of users and fans and viewers that you could get that you haven't capitalized on.
Yeah.
Yeah, cars is kind of... I mean, cars are cool, but it doesn't have much fandom. Stephen A. Smith gets to argue about the NBA and the NFL for like 12 hours a day, every single day. I mean, First Take brings in... He's asking ESPN for ESPN offered him $18 million a year, I believe, and he said that was too low for his value. He wants more money. He wants like 20 to 25 million a year to tell you that fucking Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time and not LeBron. All right, that's where the real money is.
That just sounds like a fascinating subject. I hope one day I get to engage.
You just got to tell everybody that Messi is the GOAT.
Oh, I tried those tweets a few days ago. Just fucking with people because I don't know anything about that either. So, you know.
Well, you would be correct, and he's your player now. So, like, you get to...
I thought that was like an international player.
Messi? Yeah, but he's playing in Miami now.
For what team? For what?
For the MLS.
What does MLS mean? Multiple sclerosis?
No, MLS is the North American Soccer League, Major League Soccer. He signed to Inter Miami, which is the Miami MLS team.
Wait, so does that mean he's not allowed to play like in the World Cup anymore?
No, he still plays for Argentina in the World Cup.
Oh.
So like he's been the GOAT of all time, and this is kind of like his swan song to come to America, and then he's still been incredible. Like the first game, I believe he scored the game winner, and ever since he has been carrying the MLS on his back to like make it more popular. He got some equity in Apple because they're the broadcasters and the ones that made the deal here. So he is like in the later stage of his career, but he's still fucking incredible, and he's made Inter Miami like a household name where no one would give a shit about Inter Miami prior to him coming here. So, but you get to claim him now because you're there. Why don't you go to a game, bro? How do you not like any sports? Not one.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you here, Slasher, because no one gives a fuck about sports in this chat, in this Discord, pretty much in any of the entire DGG universe. No sport. We barely care about football, and that's just because we kind of know a player.
You don't have one bro in your fandom. I cannot believe you don't have any bros.
I know one guy that plays sports ball, and he's a retard. So.
Ooh.
You've had to brought over some bros with all the allegiances that you've made on various topics.
No, sports is cringe. We hate sports. Wow, did you see how good that dude? He threw that ball and it went in the hole. Really, really good. He did it like every time. Wow, he was the best ball thrower ever. Oh, and oh my God, did you see the way that guy kicked that ball and that other guy and he caught it? Whoa! We don't care.
Aren't you friends with Tabor?
Come on. That was what I was.
Oh yeah. You got some athlete friends.
Athlete is really doing a lot of heavy lifting in that statement, isn't it?
Hey, if Pat McAfee could become one of the biggest media personalities in the world by being a fucking kicker, you know, anything is possible. All right, don't disrespect the kickers. Okay, they're very important.
He's not a kicker. He's the dude that holds the ball for the kicker. He's not an athlete. He's just a good-looking fucking.
Tabor's a placeholder.
He's not a kicker. He's the
long snapper. He's a long snapper.
Yeah,
Tabor's about to show up.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my position is super important.
He is super important.
Oh yeah. All right.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anytime you want to talk about like the NBA GOAT or like the North American sports,
that'll never happen ever.
If you want to talk about like the best FPS player of all time,
Maybe if they get caught in like some sexting scandal, we will definitely hit you up. But aside from that, we don't give a shit about FPS.
Damn.
Not since we already destroyed the war zone.
The answers are Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. These are very easy answers. And then Rafa is the best first-person shooter player.
Oh, Rafa. Yeah, that's you know where Rafa is, right? Big
so, not super.
I don't think Rafa is good.
Messi, LeBron, Gretzky, Brady, and Rafa.
You think Rafa is good?
The best.
Wow. Okay. How do you feel about that, Steve?
Rafa is better than simple. Rafa is better than formal. Rafa is better than Ogre 2. Rafa is better than Crim 6. Rafa is better than Get Right, better than Forest, better than Scump. Rafa is the best he's better than Fatality, which is the other famous American Quake player. Rafa,
it's better than Tel Aviv.
Rafa has the longevity. He has the most amount of international 1v1 titles. He has team titles, and he's been winning for the longest period of time from back then. His first international title, 2009. His latest international title is even 2023, 2024. The longevity and the total amount of championships is better than anything that's simple, Forest, Get Right, Formal, Crim 6, Ogre 2, Scump.
I can't pretend to care anymore than I have. Stop.
Okay. I mean, Steven's a RTS player.
He doesn't care about any of these people either. We've moved on. We've ascended past all these fucking losers.
I mean, Steven probably has strong opinions on whether Cyril is the best StarCraft 2 player of all time. That's become the biggest debate now. Cyril is definitely in the lead. A lot of people think that because Cyril doesn't have a GSL title, and that is where predominantly the most important championship every year was the GSL titles, and Cyril never went over to Korea for that time. He has a GSL versus the World Championship, and he has multiple BlizzCons and IEM titles, but Cyril has never.
You know the best duo in StarCraft?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Say who it is.
Nick and Dan?
No. What? Combat X and Deezer. What the fuck?
Oh, man.
You don't know shit about StarCraft. Yeah, you watch. You try to play a game, and they're going to fucking be in your shit immediately with some shit you're not expecting. Game over. And you're going to cry and whine and bitch and moan about how they're not playing correctly according to the rules, and there's some technicality. But guess what? They won. And that's how they do it.
Apparently, I'm ruining the stream. Is that true? Maybe that's true.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's time for you to go, Slasher. Run off into the. Remember what I said. One piece of advice for you, okay?
Hi, baby.
I want you to be more wild.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That comes from
like that.
It's a good piece of information.
Thanks for talking to me, Steven.
Thanks for talking to me too. I love you, buddy.
Yeah. If you really do come here, could you give me a heads up?
I'll think about it.
We'll see if you show up on the show.
Great. All right.
Take care, man.
See you.
Be careful. Bye.
All right.
I just made like the fundamental fucking mistake.
Yeah.
Shit has not been syncing between a folder on my iPad forever. And I just realized why it's not syncing. It's because it's not the same folder. It was a copy of the folder. On the iPad, if you want to on the iPad, when you're doing things like for files, if you're going from one program to the other, you can't actually point to another folder. You have to upload the file from one folder to another. It's like the most retarded fucking terminology in the fucking world.
You know, they make iPads really simple for grandmas and shit. I don't know how you constantly fuck up using it. It's really
because
interesting
part
to
of
me.
the making it simple makes it way too stupidly fucking retarded. Like the fact that I have no idea how to access any part of the fucking file system. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So I just spent 45 minutes trying to figure out why are the documents in this folder not the same as this folder, and I realized it's because, I didn't actually create a favorite to this folder when it was saying, do you want to create a favorite? It just copies and pastes and creates a whole new directory under this program. So it's not actually the same one as in my Obsidian at all. It's a totally new fucking directory. It's so fucking retarded. Because in order to move files from another, I have to upload the file from one program to another. That's uploading? Holy AIDS. My God.
Mm-hmm.
And
Guys,
now I have an
Destiny-
issue for I've got a documents folder, and for some reason I know these are the same folder, but now it's not syncing, and I don't know why. Do you think there are characters that iOS allows in the file name that Windows doesn't allow? Do you think that could be happening?
It's probably because you have like a toggle switch on or off, if I had to guess. It's going to be that simple. You're like over here, like, okay, I got to get in the file system. You're not allowed to be in the file system. Okay, we don't allow you. I don't even know where that is. Okay, there's just look for the button that says like start working. Press
I
that.
know. I bet it's this apostrophe thing. I bet if I try to create a new note, blah, 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 and then apostrophe, blah blah blah. Oh no, it is. The apostrophe is okay. Oh, I bet it's the colon. Is it the colon? Ah, there it is. So then why would it even let you? Okay.
Well, that's Apple. We don't use colons, only semicolons.
Rename.
Hey, before you forget, add me to your favorites on your phone. Oh, God. So, for chat knows, Steven is perpetually on D&D on his phone. So, if he's not on the computer, you can never get a hold of him, ever. It's just not possible. Whenever you go to message him, it's Steven has notification silence. And when you go to notify him anyway, it still does nothing because you have it silenced.
Yeah, good. That's so that people don't see my shit and
you
they're like, he's on my deal. He should be responding to me right away. Oh, where's my response? My right is way response.
Listen, I need to be able to reach you for when your Dr. Disrespect moment happens.
Okay.
And be like, Steve, listen, crisis team, okay? They found the video of you stomping on kittens. How do you want to handle this?
True. I'm with Destiny on that one. Can't stand Reed Andes. True. Fucking true. Reed Andes. That's what we should call them. Okay. Now.
We need to train Erudite to stop sending voice messages. Erudite, stop sending voice messages. Use dictation. Stop it. Stop.
Oh, I just fucked up. No. Okay. It's okay. I'm just going to get this last thing and then I'm good for... Okay.
Oh, God. Steve has no idea how an iPhone works. The funniest fucking shit ever. We're at the fucking studio. All of a sudden, a video of a fucking cat meowing nonstop comes up. And I'm like, Steve, what the fuck? What is this music? Why am I listening to fucking Honey meowing? He's like, that's not coming from me. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, because
He's
it'll
like,
randomly play fucking files in the background, okay? That are, I don't even
he
know on
couldn't
which of my
figure out- he still
devices the
doesn't know.
fucking
He
thing
still
is
doesn't
playing.
know.
I still don't know, and I even looked at all of them. I don't know where the fucking sound is coming from.
So there's just a random cat video that Steve played, and he has no idea why, still to this day. So it might happen again in the future.
I hope so. I hope it happens on stream.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I have...
Dan, can you say what happened to EMT Harley? What the fuck is it? Isn't that like a emergency medical technician? I don't know what that means. Oh, Epic Mealtime Harley. His flight got changed, so he couldn't do anything else. That's it. I think that did you do an episode of Bridges with him yet or already?
I don't know. Are we doing that tomorrow?
I have no idea.
Is that on my schedule somewhere? Did I share? Oh, stop. Okay, damn me that I need to share that thing with you. So that's our last message so that I don't forget it.
There.
God, I hate this. I hate the file system on these fucking devices. It's okay. Okay. Research. Okay. Documents. Okay. Select this.
Lycan did an 8-hour stream with him? No shot. 8 hours?
Now, when you're moving documents on an iPad, you can't click Move To. You have to click Upload because we need to upload it to another program, not moving, because it's not like all the folders are shared. Everything has its own fucking...
Chat, who is he talking to?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not upload. It's share. I'm sorry. It's not upload. It's share. We have to share it. Sorry. 8 hours. That's a long thing. We have to share it. Then we have to click Save to Files. Oh, and now here's the other thing, the other folder. Okay, save. Did that move them here? Please just show up. Please populate. Please. Oh, sorry. I have to tab into the program because nothing can run in the background of an Apple device. Jesus.
That is
Holy Christ. We can't run anything in the background. Oh my God. That would just be ludicrous. It would be unimaginable that you would run anything after you've tabbed out, because we all know that life stops working for everything else when you stop looking at it. Okay?
It's coming. I hope it is, because it fucking cucks the Redact app for iOS so hard. Whenever you want to run deletions, the app has to be running. Like,
yeah, or when you've got DGG open and then you tab out and then you go back. Oh, reconnecting to chat. Ah, great, because I don't want to see what people were just talking about. Okay, it's okay.
There has to be, like, that has to be the next big update that they're going to do. Guess what, guys?
It's for security.
Process.
It's for security.
Yeah, but you should be able to opt into it or something, because it absolutely fucking... It sucks, bro. It fucking ruins Redact. I mean, it doesn't ruin Redact, but it's just super fucking annoying. You have to leave the app open on iPhone. When on Android, you can just set it and go.
True.
The only good part about Android is that. Everything else is worse. Especially when you get a text from someone and they're on Android and you're like, oh my God, it's green. Oh God, I don't know if I can talk to this person anymore. Oh God, how did this happen? How did I know this person? Oh, this must be a mistake. Maybe they must be in a place with no internet. That's why it's green. It has to be the way. Oh God. And then then another message comes and it's still green. And you're like, oh my God.
Dazed. Okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure we'll read these tomorrow, okay? All right. Are we done for today? Trump trash talking about Biden's golf swing on the course this morning.
Hey, wait, real quick. Why did Biden look so good this morning and sound like so shit last night?
I have no idea. Maybe his brain only works in like 4-hour spurts.
Okay,
and they just caught him
next time they do the debate, he needs to be like, listen, we're doing this debate at 6 a.m. Right 2 hours after I get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and after I've had my Ovaltine and my whatever. No more nighttime debates for Joe Biden. Okay, what else? No more nighttime debates. Okay, that's number one. Number two, okay, we need 3 breaks in between. Okay, and what else? What other improvements can we make? You know what? We're gonna rub some icy hot on his balls. Jesus. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna keep him going.
Okay. All right. I love you guys. It's been fun.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go downstairs. Yeah. Okay. Be careful. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I love you guys. It's been fun. I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow, we'll do something. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe we won't do anything ever. Okay. Be careful.